All praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. It's another Shabbat slash Ashar Kadash. New moon. Happy new moon to everybody. We're going to go ahead and get into the Sabbath service class. Get some of this milk going.
Khan. Call all Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Shalawam, peace and blessing to the children out there, to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Happy Shabbat Shalawam. Happy new moon to all y'all out there. Kwam YASHARAHLA. And let's get this milk in, man. Let's get this done. Shalawam. So let me pull it up on the screen.
Let me share this right quick. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. This is our new channel. We're trying to get it built up. Don't be shy also. You come on the live, please comment so we could keep this thing active.
Yeah, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to that thing, man. Spread that wildfire. You know what I mean? Trying to get that knowledge out there to the children. Get them built up in the spirit, man. Where everybody need that milk first. Like, share, and subscribe, y'all.
All praises.
All right, I shared it. All right, so let's get into it. Genesis 31, right? That's where we're going to start today. Let me pull it up on the screen. I should my entire screen. All right, let me know when you want me to start reading.
You can go ahead and start.
All right, y'all. So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 31, and verse 1 at the top, right? And he heard the words of Laban's sons, saying, Jacob hath taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's hath he gotten all this glory. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before. And Yahweh said unto Jacob, Return unto the land of thy fathers and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee.
So at first, Laban's, he liked, Jacob. He preferred Jacob, right? But after a while, his son's countenance, right? His sons started getting a little, you could say, jealous. You know what I mean? And so his sons went to the father, and now Laban was like, damn, he started looking at Jacob sideways. So we're gonna read on. The Most High said, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Go to your father's land. Don't even trip, right? Keep going.
Verse 4. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock, and said unto them,
he didn't ask her, he didn't ask her. He called them, hey babe, come here. Right? Read on.
Verse 5. And said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not toward me as before, but the Elohim of my father hath been with me. Verse 6. And ye know that with all my power I have served your father.
Yeah, he served her father for 20 years, right? 6 for Leah. What he did 6 2 times for Rachel, right? And he served them for cattle and for sheep and goats and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So he served her father, 20 years with a smile on his face, with a good heart, right?
Verse 6. Verse 7. And your father hath deceived me and changed my wages 10 times. But God suffered him not to hurt me. If he said thus, the speckled shall be the wages, then all the cattle bear speckled. And if he said thus,
Salakia. So the Most High, The Most High did him bad, right? He would have turned all the cattle speckled. You know what I mean? If he would have said, "Oh, well, all the speckled will be yours," you know what I mean? The Most High would have said, "Whoop, every one of your cattle got speckles," right? Because the Most High, He works with us like that. So we got to remember that thing. Jacob knew what the deal was already, and the Most High kind of already showed Jacob that he wanted to kill him. That's why he said. That's why he said. Yeah, it said. Right. But Yahweh suffered him not to hurt me. Right, because he wanted. Look, in his heart of hearts, he wanted to kill him. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Con. Verse 9. Genesis 31, verse 9. Thus God hath taken away the cattle of your father and given them to me.
So no
And it
matter
came.
what, he would have got the cattle. No matter how bad he wanted to do Jacob, he would have got his cattle, man. Oh, you only could have 10 of a tenth. You know what I mean? And it got to be the speckled ones. All right, well, I'm gonna make all of them speckled. Right? Read on.
Verse 10. And it came to pass at the time that the cattle conceived, that I lifted up mine eyes and saw in a dream, and behold, the rams which leaped upon the cattle were ring-straked, speckled, and gristled, Salakia. And the angel of Yahweh spake unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob. And I said, Here am I. And he said, Lift up now thine eyes and see. All the rams which leap upon the cattle are ring-straked, speckled, and gristled. For I have seen all that Laban doeth unto thee.
So ring straight means that they had they was locked up. You feel what I'm saying? They was locked down. And then speckled and gristled means they had things covering their mouth, and speckled meaning spot, right? Spots and blemishes.
Verse 13.
Salakia, not blemishes, but speckled, meaning spots.
Genesis 31 and 13. I am the God of Bethel, where thou anointest the pillar, and where thou.
Who is Bethel?
Bethel will be the house of God.
Con.
Where thou anointest the pillar, and where thou vowest a vow unto me. Now arise, get thee out from this land, and return unto the land of thy kindred.
It was like, hey man, he told him to go to his father's land, right? And then he went there. Then he was like, all right, well now go to thy kindred's land. You know, the Most High putting Yaquab to work, man.
Verse 14. And Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, Is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house?
Nah, your portion is with me.
Right. Are we not counted of him strangers? For he hath sold us and hath quite devoured also our money.
So how much do your father really love you? You feel what I'm saying? If he gonna do this to you because your husband is such and such. But that's why Yahweh gave us that law and that charge, man. When you get a wife, you know, your woman leave mother and father and be joined unto you. Because
it
if
belong
not,
to you now.
Yeah, her mother and her father gonna turn her away from you, man. You know what I'm saying? Or away from the Most High. So you have to watch that thing, man. So now they're vexed because they're getting treated some type of way, because Jacob getting treated some type of way, and the dad feel the same way about them. Right? You got something else?
Nah, just keep going. Nothing for now. Verse 16. For all the riches which God hath taken from our father, that is ours and our children's. Now then, whatsoever God hath said unto thee, do. Then Jacob rose up and set his sons and his wives upon camels, and he carried away all his cattle and all his goods which he had gotten. The cattle of his Con.
Stop right there. So as you can see, Jacob didn't hesitate. He didn't fight with his wives. He didn't argue with them. He didn't do any of that. He didn't even acknowledge what they were saying. Who's to say that he even answered them? He was like, you know what? Look, get up on that camel. Let's get all our stuff together. We got to get out of here because the Most High God, Yahweh, said we need to go over here. Damn how you feel. Forget about your feelings. Let's go where the Most High told us we need to go.
Con. The cattle of his getting, which he had gotten in Pandan Aram, for to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan.
Verse 19.
Verse 19. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the images that were her father's.
He went over there to go ahead and check up on the sheep, see what they was doing, if any of them was tangled, herd them into the right place so he could close the gate. You feel what I'm saying? And this is what happens, right? Read on.
Verse 20. And Jacob stole away unawares to Laban the Syrian, and that he told him not that he fled.
He ain't telling me he went nowhere.
Yeah, he went there secretly, unaware. You know what I'm saying? So he fled with all that he had, and he rose up and passed over the river and set his face toward the Mount Gilead. And it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob was fled. It tells him 3 days later.
Yeah, right.
That's what you call strategy too. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to tell, if you're trying to leave somebody, you want, hey, he 3 days gone. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no catching up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's righteous guile, right? That's righteous guile, man. Using wisdom, man.
Verse 23. And he took it.
Because if he wouldn't have done it like that, it would have been a problem, right? It would have been an all-out brawl over what was his, because it's his land. So now we got to fight because it's your land. But you know that all these animals and all this stuff is mine. All right, read on.
Verse 23. And he took his brethren with him and pursued after him 7 days' journey. And they overtook him in the Mount Gilead. And God came to...
24.
You say what? Yeah, 20. Yeah, 24 now. Right? So Laban took his brothers with him and pursued after Jacob for 7 days' journey, right? And he met up with him at Mount Gilead, overtook him there. But watch this. Verse 24, Genesis 31:24. And God came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. They don't even say nothing to this man, man.
Don't even open your mouth.
That's right. Verse 25. Then Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the Mount of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, what hast thou done, that thou hast stolen away unawares to me, and carried away my daughters as captives, taken with the sword?
So he's trying to make it bad, like he stole his daughters. And watch what Jacob have to tell him. He had to reaffirm all his work that he did, man. Like, how you gonna tell me I stole your daughters, dude? I've been busting my tail for you, for these 2 women that I got, right?
Right. Verse 27. Wherefore didst thou flee away secretly, and steal away from me, and didst not tell me, that I might have sent thee away with mirth, and with songs, with tabret, and with harp? It's like, man, you should have just told me. I would have gave you all this stuff. We would have been good. Dap it up. All right, be on your way. Like, nah, man.
You're a devil, son. I don't trust you.
Right. Yeah. Verse 28. And has not suffered me to kiss my sons and my daughters? Thou hast now done foolishly in so doing.
And his sons is not talking about, his sons.
Yeah.
He's talking about his grandchildren.
Yeah, Jacob's kids.
Right? That's what he's talking about. He's talking about his grandchildren, my grandsons. Go ahead.
Verse 29. It is in the power of my hand to do you hurt. But the God of your fathers spake unto me yesternight, saying, Take thou heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. Hey man, he's
That's
like,
why
hey
he
man, you
used.
know what? I got the power to hurt you, man. But you know what? Hey, your God told me don't even speak to you good things or bad things, man. But you know, I'll whoop your ass if I want to whoop your ass. Hey, he talking big game, man.
If it was up to me, right? But also he didn't say any good or bad, bro. He just asked them questions the
Mm-hmm.
whole time. He didn't say neither good or bad. He just wanted answers to some questions. Read on.
Con. Verse 30. And now, though thou wouldest needs be gone, because thou sore longest after thy father's house,
Khan,
yet,
he was vexed to get back to his kinfolk house.
right,
Right?
Con, yet wherefore hast thou stolen my gods?
Mm,
Like, what are you taking my gods for? And
mm.
Jacob answered and said to Laban, because I was afraid, for I said, peradventure, thou wouldest take by force thy daughters from me.
Khan, man, I'm using wisdom, man, because I know how you feel already, and I know what your son said to you, to make you have a disdain taste in your mouth about me and your daughters. So I knew that it was gonna be a problem if I said anything. So let me just get up out of here, and you got to talk to me when I'm around my posse. You feel what I'm saying?
Con,
While I got my goons behind me. Now we could talk. Cause at first, when I was in your land, we couldn't really talk like that.
mm-hmm,
You know what I
con.
mean?
Verse 32. With whomsoever thou findest thy gods, let him not live. Before our brethren, discern thou what is thine with me,
Mm.
and take it to thee. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them.
What happened?
Rachel had stolen them.
So watch what our beloved foremother does, right?
Come. Verse 33. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the two maidservants' tents, but he found them not. Then went out of Leah's tent and entered into Rachel's tent.
And what happened?
Verse 34. Now Rachel had taken the images and put them in the camel's furniture
Mm.
and sat upon them, and Laban searched all the tent, but found them not.
So she had him under the pillow cushions, you heard me, for the sofa.
Yeah, it
You know what I
comes.
mean? And she sat up on him and she like, hey, look, bro, I ain't moving. Right?
Right, right.
Read on.
Verse 35. And she said to her father, let it not displease my lord, right, Jacob, that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women is upon me.
Kind of
And
what?
the custom of women, what of the woman is upon me, right, rather,
Yeah, she on her cycle.
right. And
Supposedly.
he's
She's not on
right.
her
So
cycle.
yeah. Yeah, you can't touch me. You know what I'm saying?
Supposedly, yeah.
Right. And he searched but found not the images, right? Because he got to search everywhere else around her where she's sitting at. You know what I'm saying? So I can't touch you. I'm gonna look over here. Let me look over here. And he ain't gonna find it because she's sitting on it, man.
Come.
Right. And Jacob was wroth and chode with Laban. And Jacob answered and said to Laban,
Salakia.
what is my trespass?
Salakia. Jacob, as we read, Jacob didn't know that she had the images.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob had no clue that she had the images, right? So now he hot. Like, man, look, man, you testing me like that, man. You checking me like that, bro. Like, hey, look, you're gonna have to skedaddle, son. Your stuff ain't here.
Right. Like, what did I do to make you come up in my house and start searching my tent, man? You know what
Yeah,
I'm
man.
saying?
I ain't
You
got nothing
tripping
for
for?
you.
Right.
That's like when you lose your $20 or you spent your $20 last night and you rafish in the crib and you like, damn man, somebody took my damn $20. Hey, you took my $20. You remember me using my $20? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, he all up in your room now. Like, what you doing in my
Yeah,
room? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Kind.
I know you got it.
Right.
Read on.
Continue. What is my trespass? What is my sin
Where we
that
at?
thou hast 36, the
Con.
last portion of it. What is my trespass? What is my sin that thou hast so hotly pursued after me? Whereas thou hast searched all my stuff. What hast thou found of all thy household stuff?
Mm.
Set it here, set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, that they may judge betwixt us both.
Stop right there. So, like I said, man, he had his kinfolk, he had his goonies with him this time.
Yeah,
You know,
come.
you came into my area, man. That's why I left first. They both had goonies, man. Right? You ain't just gonna come here and bully me and toss my house up, man. I got gangsters
Mhm.
with me. I got Israel with me, man.
That's
You
why,
understand?
hey, it's 12 sons, man. It was, hey, man, we doing all that.
Yeah,
We ain't with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Got your back,
Read on.
pops. Right?
Uh-huh.
38. 38. Genesis 31 and 38. This 20 years have I been with thee.
How many
The
years?
20 years
Con.
have I been with thee. Thy ewes and thy she goats have not cast their young, and the
Con.
rams of thy
So he made
and
sure that every animal had the babies. He made
con
sure that every animal had the babies. Read on.
and the rams of thy flock have I not eaten.
Con.
39. That which was torn of beasts I brought not unto thee. I bear the loss of it. Of
Con.
my of
He
my
said
hand.
when it happened, because it was on me to watch them, I replaced it with my stuff. I
Right, right.
replaced it with my sheep, with my ram, with my goat, with my EU, right? I made sure you didn't lose anything, my man. Read on.
Of my hand didst thou require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. It's like, hey man, because he was like, hey man, you got to give me something. I don't care if you go steal it, whatever. You got to give me what's mine. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like he required it from him, man. So Jacob did what he had to do to really live up to his expectation, his end of the bargain, man.
But Salakia, it said, bear I the loss of it. Of my hand didst thou require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. So no matter however they disappeared, you feel what I'm saying? It didn't matter. I had to pay that back, and I paid it back with what I had. You feel what I'm saying?
Con,
Yeah,
continue.
what? Because it's Salakia, because it's telling you right here that which was torn of beast I brought unto thee. I bear the loss of it, right? And then it double backs and tell you something else that happened. It said, my hand didst thou require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. He's talking about his rams, his sheep, and his goat. If they just disappeared and the count is off, you gotta repay that. Read
That's
on.
right. Verse 40. Thus I was in the day the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from mine eyes.
Worrying.
Thus thus have I been 20 years in thy house. I served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy cattle, and thou hast changed my wages 10 times.
Mm. Oh yeah, you're not worth that much. Oh yeah, well, you kind of worth that much right now. Hey, nah, you ain't even worth that. You ain't even worth that, right? Changed his wages 10 times, a complete number of times.
Yeah, it's always changing. Hey, I'm gonna pay you lesser. I'm
Yeah.
gonna pay you this much. I feel
Yep.
like you're worth this. You know what I mean?
Yep.
42, verse 42. Except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been
Mm.
with me, surely thou hadst sent me away now empty.
Why it said the fear of Isaac? You could get that precept out.
No, I don't have that precept right now.
Come on, let me get it for you. Salakia, Israel. It's Genesis 22 and 1.
I'll go there right now. All right, there. Genesis 22 and 1. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take now thy son, thy only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and saddled his ass, and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up and went unto the place of which God had told him. Then on the 3rd day, Abraham lifted up his eyes, and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said unto his young men, Abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship, and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering, and laid it upon Isaac his son. And he took the fire, laid it upon Isaac his son. And he took the fire in his hand, and a knife, and they went both of them together.
Hey, he told Isaac, hey man, carry this wood for the sacrifice. You know what I mean? Drag it on up there. I got the fire and the knife. Let's go make this sacrifice. Right?
Not
Read
knowing
on.
yet. Verse 8. And Abraham said, My son, Yahweh will provide himself a lamb for
Hold on. You missed something. Verse 7.
And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here am I, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood.
Hey, man, you got the fire and the wood.
But where is the lamb for a burnt offering?
So this is the fear he's talking about.
Right? And Abraham said, My son, Yahweh will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. And so they went both of them together.
And that's the faith of Abraham, right? The God of Abraham, the power of Abraham, which is his faith, right? And Isaac had the fear. Now let's go back to 31. Genesis 31. And where we at? 42.
Genesis 31 and 42. Except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely thou hast sent me away now empty. God has seen mine affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight.
And did what?
Rebuked thee yesternight.
Hey man, don't touch my anointed. Read on.
43. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, These daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children. Whoo, talking bold. And these cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine.
It's mine. Hey man, look here, man. Hey, he deboed him, man. Right?
Yeah,
now, it was all his, but homie was trying to take his stuff. So he was like, hey, look, man, I'm gonna let this known right now, man. This is my stuff. Do something. Right? Read on, bro.
And what can I do this day unto these my daughters, or unto their children which they have born?
Where we at?
44 now.
Salaki, go
ahead. Now therefore come thou, let us make a covenant, I and thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee. And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar.
Watch what Jacob do, man. This is how a covenant had to have bloodshed. You feel what I'm saying? Now we can make a covenant, with our mouth, because of the bloodshed was already done, you know what I mean, through Hamashiach Yahushua. But all covenants need bloodshed, right? Read on.
Verse 46. And Jacob said unto his brethren, gather stones, and they took stones, and made an heap, and they did eat there upon the heap. And Laban called it Jergarshadutha, but Jacob called it Galid, right? Verse
And that's how we
48.
get Galilee. And that's how we get Galilee, right? The land.
And Laban said, this heap is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore was the name of it called Galid. And Mizpah, for he said, Yahweh watch between me and thee, when we are absent one from another.
So make sure, so Yahweh is gonna make sure both of us is upholding our side of the treaty, right? Our side of the covenant.
Verse 50. If thou shalt afflict my daughters, or if thou shalt take other wives beside my daughters, no man
we can't have but one wife. Read on.
No man is with us. See, Yahweh is witness betwixt me and thee.
No matter where you go, he's watching.
Verse 51. And Laban said to Jacob, behold this heap, and behold this pillar which I have cast betwixt me and thee. This heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to thee, and thou shalt not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm.
So they walking through this aisle. This is another way to make a covenant, right? Also bloodshed. But this heap and this pillar is two things that's on the side of them, and they walk between it together. Just like marriages, you have people on this side, maybe the family of the husband, and then you got the family of the wife on the other side, and they walk between them to to stamp and sign that covenant. So that's what's happening right here.
Verse 54. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount,
Did
and
what?
called his then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount.
Why? Because it needs bloodshed to seal a covenant, right? Like earlier in Genesis, they cut I forget what it was, but they cut cattle in half, and they put one half on this side and one half on that side, and they walked in between them. Same thing going on right here. They made the covenant by walking through it, and then now Jacob is making sacrifices to stamp and seal this covenant.
Seal the deal. That's right. Verse 54. End portion. And they did eat bread. Salaki, I'll start again. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread, and tarried all night in the mount. And early in the morning, Laban rose up and kissed his sons and his daughters, and blessed them. And Laban departed and returned unto his place.
So all that we hear, all that we read is what we do in here, right? I forget how to say it in the Hebrew, but that's what we do every time we end out a chapter. We say all that we read is what we do and hear, right? So let's go to 32.
This is Genesis chapter 32 and verse 1. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of Yahweh met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, this is Yahweh's army, or his host, Salakia. And he called
same thing, man.
His body, yeah, And he called them the name. He called the name of that place Mahanaim, right? Mahanaim. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau, his brother.
He sent angels before him to Esau, if you understand, right? Messengers is an angel.
Messengers,
Let's go.
yep, right, unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom. All
Uh-oh.
right. Mhm. And he commanded them, saying, Thus shall ye speak unto my lord Esau. Thy servant Jacob saith thus, I have sojourned with Laban, and stayed there until now. And I have oxen and asses, flocks and men servants and women servants. And I have sent to tell my lord that I may find grace in thy sight.
So why is he calling Esau his Lord, right?
His
Esau was
older
big
brother.
in power. He was big in power right here, man. You know, he had a lot going for himself,
He had a
right?
lot of men with him too at that time.
Right. He had big armies, man. You feel what I'm saying? He was like he had a lot of stature right here, bro. So,
Hmm.
Jacob had to humble himself before Esau, even knowing that he was better. You know what I mean? He still had to humble himself because he know how his brother is.
Con.
Read on.
Con. Verse 6. And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, We came to thy brother Esau, and also he cometh to meet thee, and 400 men with him.
How many men?
400.
Man.
400.
Oh, 100. He
Man,
had, man, I'm
400
talking
men.
mighty
That's a
men,
lot.
man.
That's a
Mighty
lot of
men.
men right there. Con.
What? And Jacob just getting out of captivity. So all he got is his sons, a couple servants. You know what I mean? He might have
Uh-huh.
like a hermit with him, you know what I mean? And some of that hermit is women and kids.
Con.
You know what
Right,
I
right, right.
mean?
That's right. That's right. Con. Verse 7. Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that was with him, and the flocks and the herds and the camels into two bands,
Hey,
and said,
look, Shalakia. Hey, look, you go over here, we gonna go over here. That way he can't take everything from me. You feel what I'm
just in case, because he don't
saying?
know what to expect yet. He said
Yeah,
400 men. Oh man, he probably coming to do something to me. I don't know what he's gonna come do. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, God. Hey, y'all
Because
go
that's
over there.
because that's all the messengers had told him. It was like, yeah,
Yeah,
Esau coming. He coming with 400 men. He didn't tell him anything other than that. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So
From
Jake was
what
like,
we
oh
know.
man, you know what I'm
From
saying?
what we know, right?
Con.
From the scriptures, he
Yeah,
ain't
from
tell
the
him nothing
scriptures,
else.
right?
He said he coming, but he
Yeah,
got 400
400
men,
men with him.
dog. Read
Yeah,
on, huh?
con. Con. Verse 7, Salakia.
Verse 8.
Yeah, verse 8. And said, if Esau come to the one company and smite it, then the other company which is left shall escape. Yeah, that's a
God,
good game plan right there, man.
at least I have something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right, right. And Jacob said, O Yahweh, Abba of Abraham, and Elohim of my Abba Isaac, Yahweh which says unto me, return unto thy country
Do
and to
what?
thy kindred.
Do what?
Return unto thy country
Why?
and
Why he say return unto his country? You know, you told me to do this. Don't let him take me out now. He's pleading with him, just like David, right? He's pleading with Yahweh, man. You told me to do this, man. Come on. Come on. You know, be my shield and my buckler. Come on. You know, read on, Salaki.
come. Return unto thy country and to thy kindred, and I will deal well with thee.
Khan, you see, help me. You know what I mean? You told me you was gonna deal well with me, man. Hey, look, let me remind you of what you told me. Right? That's how we gotta pray sometimes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, remember the covenant that you made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh. You know what I mean? Have mercy on your servant. Read
Come.
on, right?
That's right. That's right. Verse 10. I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies and of all the truth which thou hast showed unto thy servant. For with my staff I passed over this Jordan,
Mm.
and now I am become two bands.
Khan.
Now they split up
Khan.
right
Hey,
now.
this is also, man, if you think about it, right? This is also the split in between the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom.
That's right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? He said,
Mm-hmm.
for with Salakia, for with my staff have I passed over this Jordan. he had the whole staff, he had his whole family, right? And then it goes on to say, and now I become two bands. The staff has broken. I
Right.
split my kingdom in half, right?
Con.
Read on up.
That's right, Con. Verse 11. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau. For
Con,
I
that's
fear him.
Salakia, that's what we're asking for right now. We got the
Right,
staff
Con.
coming back together, bro. We got Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom under the hand of Esau. And we're asking the Most High to do the same thing for us, man.
It's Ezekiel
Right?
37. Here, Con.
Go ahead, my bad,
Con.
Salakia.
Con. For I fear him. I'll start again. 11. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau. For I fear him, lest he will come and smite me, and the mother with the children.
Con, and my wives and the children.
Uh-huh. And thou saidst, I will surely do thee good, and make thy seed as the sand of the sea,
Man, he
which
pleading.
cannot be numbered for multitude.
Con, he pleading with the Most High, man. You made me a promise. Help,
Mm-hmm. He's
right?
bringing it back to his remembrance, man. Right, Con.
That's right, huh? That's right,
Verse
huh?
13. And he lodged there that same night, and took of that which came to his hand a present for Esau his brother, 200 she goats, and 20 he goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 milch camels with their colts, 40 kine and 10 bulls, 20 she asses and 10 foals. And he delivered them into the hand of his servants, every drove by themselves, and said, every drove by themselves, and said unto his servants, pass over before me, and put a space betwixt drove and drove.
Con, hey, go before me and bring
Mm-hmm.
this stuff to him so we can make smooth things over.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's try to
Right,
smooth
right,
this
right,
thing
right.
over, man. Go
Con.
ahead.
Verse 17, Genesis 32 and 17. And he
Con.
commanded the foremost, saying, when Esau my brother meeteth thee, and asketh thee, saying, whose art thou? And whither goest thou? And whose are these before thee? Then shalt thou say, they be thy servant Jacob's.
Yeah,
It is
wait
a
for him,
present.
Salakia,
Uh-huh.
wait for him to ask you what's going on.
Right, right.
And then you tell him, don't come through and hurry up and be like, hey, Jacob, Jacob, thy servant, is coming through with all this. This is
Right,
yours.
right.
Don't be
Let them
scared about it.
question.
Yeah, don't be scared about it and hurry up and tell him because you're scared. Nah, wait till he asks you, why you come over here, why you come through here, and who all this for? Like,
Yeah,
hey,
you don't
look,
want to show them that weak countenance, man. You know what I'm saying?
exactly, because now he gonna overthrow you. You feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
right.
wait for him to ask you. Don't even have no smile on your face. Don't even look scared. Wait for him to ask you and be like, yeah, this from Jacob, dog. You feel what I'm
That's
saying?
like it's like Esau walking with his men, and he'd be like, "Hold on," and then you see somebody in front of him. Then Esau throws that question like, "Who art thou?
Yeah,
Where are you
Khan.
coming from? What are these with you?" Then you make that answer. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right,
Jacob told you, right?
right. Because
Verse 18.
that show
Then,
yourself a man. You show yourself a man like that. Read on.
Khan, then thou shalt say, they be thy servant Jacob's. It is a present set unto my lord Esau. And behold, also he is behind us.
He on the
And
way.
he, yeah, Khan. And so commanded he the second and the third and all that followed the droves, saying, on this manner shall ye speak unto Esau when ye find him.
He
So it's
trying to
basically sending,
lighten the
yeah,
blow, man.
yeah,
Salaki,
he's
he
sending,
trying to lighten the blow. Go ahead, go ahead.
Khan, he's sending waves after waves after waves, and then Jacob comes last. You know what I'm
Khan,
saying? So Esau's with all Jacob's presence, like, oh, there you are, Jacob. I see what you brought me. You know, this is all for me. I'm guessing. You know, easing them up. You know what I mean?
right.
So that's what droves are, different waves. You know, not all at once. Khan. Verse 20. And say ye moreover, behold, thy servant Jacob is behind us. For he said, I will appease him with the present that goeth before me, and afterward I will see his face. Peradventure he will accept of me. Verse 21. So went the present over before him, and himself lodged that night in the company. And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons and passed over the ford Jabbok. Right? Verse 23. And he took them and sent them over the brook and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he
Con,
wrestled with him.
go
Keep
ahead.
going.
Yeah.
26. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And
Hey,
he
man.
said,
I'm pleading with you, man. Let me go, man. The angel was like, hold out, man. Hold out. I'm tired. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but YASHARAHLA,
Con,
Israel, right? For as a prince hast thou power with Yahweh and with men, and has prevailed.
con. So we got power, man. We got power through Yahweh, through
Uh-huh.
Israel. We got power, man. You know, like, so we always have to remember that, because things come up. You know, things come up, and we tend to forget that we are the He Prince power, right?
Right.
We are
Shalom,
that.
shalom to everybody in the chat.
Khan, shalom, shalom.
Right, man. Verse 29. And Jacob asked him and said, Tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, Wherefore is it that thou ask after my name? And he
Khan.
blessed them there.
He said, "What you
And
need to know? What you need to know me for, man?
yeah, kind
you know, you know, I came from heaven, right?
right. Trying to get a name from an angel real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
And Jacob called the name of that place Peniel, for I have seen Yahweh face to face,
Mm.
and my life is preserved.
Khan, I seen power, man, face to
Right,
face,
power face to face.
right? And I prevailed, man. You know, Yahweh Shem Yahweh gave me the strength
Con.
to really overcome this angel and get this blessing. You
He
understand?
gave him strength. He gave him power to be able to overcome in wrestling that angel. So basically, he's like, go ahead and keep that power I gave you, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
earned it. You earned it. You know, just keep that power. Because
That's
can't
right.
no mortal man wrestle with an angel and win. He had power on him. It's like, you know what? You earned it. Keep that power I gave you, man.
Yeah, Khan, all praises, man.
Con,
Good analysis and good analogy, man.
con. Praise to the Most High. 31. And as he passed over Penuel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Therefore, the children
Remind me,
of Yasharahla,
remind me. He was holding his thigh, man. That thing was still hurting. That thing, he made it through, but that thing was still hurting.
verse 32. Therefore, the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh, unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh in the sinew that shrank.
Con, so he, you know, we can't eat that little. That's what he's saying right here. We can't eat that little thing that joins the socket, you know, the socket of the thigh to the pelvis, right? The middle of that, we can't eat that thing.
Con. Next chapter,
Oh, my
33.
bad.
Wait, is that where we at?
Yeah. All that all that we read is what we doing here, right?
Con,
Let's go
con.
ahead
All that we read
to
is what we doing here.
Con.
Genesis 33:1. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children unto Leah, and unto Rachel, and unto the two handmaids. And he put the handmaids and their children foremost, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and Joseph hindermost. So everybody was in a line, you know what I'm saying? Someone on the front, in the middle, and then close in between. Front, back, in between. Verse 3. And he passed over before them and bowed himself to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. And Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. You know what I'm saying? Like when you jump on somebody and you land on the ground, like, oh my, I missed you, bro. All that, you know what I'm saying?
And like I'm gonna do Abijah and Tippy when I and Topsy when I
Yeah, Kai. Yeah, my brother's on the ground and all of that. Man, what you been on, bro? You know what I mean?
Con,
Khan.
con.
And he lifted up his eyes and saw Salakia. Yeah, Khan. Verse 5. See right here it says, and they wept. So they was crying together, man. They was both in the, like, man, my brother, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, long time, my man.
And you can see Esau being excited, but Jacob being even more excited because he thought Esau was coming to harm him.
To kill him, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So Jacob was like, oh, you ain't coming to kill me? Oh, man, that made him tear up. You know what I'm saying?
God,
I can see that. And he
God.
lifted up his eyes and saw the women and the children and said, who are those with thee? And
Hey
he said,
man,
yeah,
you brought my nephew and nieces?
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was just about to say that. Kind, you know what I'm saying? And he said, the children which Yahweh hath graciously given thy servant. Then the handmaidens came near, they and their children, and they bowed themselves out of respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, nice to meet you type
Hey
deal. You
man,
know what I'm saying?
yeah, Khan.
Right.
Shalom.
Yeah, each child, Shalawam, Judah, Shalawam,
Yeah,
Levi,
Khan.
they all bowing.
Yeah, Khan.
God. And he
Respect.
said, right, and he said, what meanest thou by all this drove which I met? And he
Yeah,
said,
Khan. He like,
like, what's up with all these ways?
what
Yeah,
all
what's up
this
with all
stuff
these
that
ways?
you don't yeah.
Con, what's all these droves? What's all this stuff for? And he said, these are to find grace in the sight of my Lord.
Hey man, I
Right?
thought you was gonna do me something, man.
Mm-hmm. And Esau said, I have enough, my brother. Keep that thou hast unto thyself.
God,
Man,
don't even worry about it. Hey,
it
bro,
can.
I owe you $100. You know what I mean? Hey, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, bro. I got enough, man. You
Yeah,
know.
God.
And Jacob, verse 10, Genesis 33:10. And Jacob said, nay, I pray thee, if now I have found grace in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand. For therefore I have seen thy face, as
Don't
though
be
I had
Salakia, don't be an Indian giver, right? We
right,
got that type of thing now, man. You know where you give something, somebody like, nah, I really don't need it, but you know they in their pride. You're like, nah, bro, take it. You feel what I'm saying?
right.
Go ahead and take it. So Esau the same way. He's still that proud man. So in his pride, he like, nah, man, it's all good, bro. I got enough,
Yeah. I got it.
right?
I could get it on my own.
Yeah, you understand where I'm going, and then
Yeah, come.
he said, "Nah, man, I already know you got a lot going on. Go ahead and keep that. You feel what I'm saying? Go ahead and take that. I don't need that." But Jacob, like, okay, I understand what you're doing, but I ain't no Indian giver. I already set
Right.
my heart. I already set my heart for you to have it. So
Con.
Israel, stop being Indian givers. Read on.
Con. If now have I found grace in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand. For therefore I have seen thy face as though I had seen the face of God, and thou
Mercy,
wast pleased with
mercy.
me.
Mercy, right? That's what he's talking about. As if I seen the face of power, right? That mercy that he gave him, that Esau gave him.
Verse 11. Take, I pray thee, my blessing that is brought to thee, because God hath dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough. And he urged him, and he took it. Because Jacob was saying the same thing. Like, look, man, I got enough too. God's been blessing me also. You know, you might feel like you might not need it, Esau, but look, man, I urge you, just please take what my gift. Esau's like, all right, man, I got you. I'm just gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? And he took it. And he said, let us take our journey, and let us go, and I will go before thee. And he said unto him, my Lord knoweth that the children are tender, and the flocks and herds with young are with me. So I can read that again. And he said unto him, my Lord knoweth that the children are tender, and the flocks and herds with young are with me. And if men should overdrive them one day, all the flock will die.
And that's a promise. You know what I mean? That's a promise. It's like if somebody try to take them and hurt them away, man, all of them gonna die through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Verse 14. Let my Lord, I pray thee, pass over before his servant, and I will lead on softly, according as the cattle that goeth before me, and the children be able to endure until I come unto my Lord unto Seir. So he telling Esau, look, man, we know you gonna push it, you gonna push that journey, you going all the way back, yo man, y'all mighty, y'all strong, y'all can make that journey. But me, we gonna take it easy on the way to go meet you out Mount Seir. You know, the children are tender, the cattle they ain't moving running like horses, they gotta move at their speed. So you know, so that way we're able to endure that journey.
It's gonna take some time. We got babies.
Yeah, it's gonna take some. And Esau said, let me now leave with thee some of the folk that are with me. And he said, what needeth it? Let me find grace in the sight of my Lord. It's like, man, I'm not trying to win favor from your men. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to win favor from you. So we don't need your men. We're gonna make that journey. I promise you. Right? We're gonna meet you up there. So Esau returned that day on his way unto Seir. And Jacob journeyed to Succoth, and built him an house, and made booths for his cattle. Therefore, the name of the place is called Succoth, right? Succoth would also just mean simply shelter, right? That's what it is. Succoth is a shelter. So he built himself a shelter there for his cattle and them. And Jacob came to Shalem, a city of Shechem. It's like it.
Yeah, it's called Shechem.
Yeah, Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan. When he came from Padanaram, and pitched his tent before the city. Salakia, let me reread that. Salakia. And Jacob came to Shalem, a city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, when he came from Padanaram and pitched his tent before the city. And he bought a parcel of a field where he had spread his tent, at the hand of the children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. Right? That's the Hivites, man. He, seen the Hivites. There's like, look, man, I need this place. I'm trying to build a shelter here. You know what I'm saying? So we can just stay here for a bit. So he had to pay Hamor, Shechem's father, 100 pieces of money for that piece of land, because that's not their land that they in. And he erected there an altar and called it Elohel Israel. Right?
Look up what that means.
It means God is the God of Israel.
All right. All that we read is what we doing here.
All that we read is what we doing.
So let's go to Maccabees, 2 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 8.
Let me pull it up. Hey, peace and blessing to the children out here. Shalawam, shalawam. Barakatah to the viewers that are in here right now. Shalawam.
Khan, Shalawam, man. Salute, YASHARAHLA, Mashapaka.
All right, we go. Second Maccabees 8. Let's get it. Let's get it.
We need another moderator, man, to be on there and saluting the family when they come in and come on, man.
Yeah, Khan. We don't got nobody typing in the chat. We just have 2 viewers. They're watching right now. So peace and blessings to you guys out there. Keep enduring to the end, y'all.
Khan, all present.
Yeah, make sure y'all like and share, subscribe this thing, man. You know, we trying to get that increase. You know, all praise to the Most High willing. You know, put it on y'all spirit. So, all right, let's get it. Let's get it. So, this is the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 8 and verse 1. Right. Then Judas Maccabeus and they that were with him went privily into the towns, right? Means secretly into the towns, and called their kinfolks together, and took unto them all as such as continued in the Jews' religion, and assembled about 6,000 men. Right.
Khan, so this is a recap. You know what I mean? This is another brother telling the stories about Judas Maccabees and the revolt. Right? He's just giving them a friendly reminder of what just went down some years back.
Con. Verse 2. And they called upon Yahweh that he would look upon the people that was trodden down of all, and also pity the temple profaned of ungodly men, and that he would have compassion upon the city, sore defaced and ready to be made even with the ground, and hear the blood that crieth unto him. Right? So they're asking the Most High to have mercy because they trying to get back to their ways, man. The ancient past of their forefathers. That's why he went and found 6,000 men who did not succumb to the Greek ways and wanted to continue the path of their forefathers, right? Keeping the laws. So he's asking them, like, have compassion, because this city, it's sore defaced, right? Right here. It's very much like unclean to the max.
Yeah,
And ready
finished.
to be made. It's ready to be just destroy all of it and build it back up again. Basically, how bad it is, right? It's ready to be made even with the ground, and hear the blood that is cried unto him. It's a lot of blood, man. Right, verse 4. And remember the wicked slaughter of harmless infants,
There was a
and the
man killing our kids, man, and them spirits went back up and told the Most High what happened.
Right, Khan. And that reminds me of when they was feeding our babies to alligators, man. That's
Me
the
too.
wicked slaughter of harmless infants, man.
Khan.
And blasphemies, which are dirty, filthy lies, blasphemies committed against his name, and that he would show his hatred against the wicked. Verse 5.
This is what them brothers was praying, man. Watch, it's gonna go on to say it. Read.
Verse 5. Now, when Maccabeus had his company about him, he could not be withstood by the heathen, for the wrath of Yahweh was turned into mercy. Con. So basically, when Maccabeus had his company, you know, the heathen couldn't even withstand that. They was like, oh man, what's this mightiness that's going on, right? Because the wrath of Yahweh was turned into mercy, meaning what?
Instead of knocking off all Israel, he spared the righteous like he did before with Lot.
Because he was about to make that place basically wipe it out and start over. You know what I'm saying? But everybody wasn't wicked. That's the remnant here that's dealing with.
Still the same thing, man. This is the righteous. The wrath wasn't upon them because they was keeping the commandments. So it turned to mercy for those 6,000 men that was keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments.
Con. Verse 6. Therefore he came at unawares, and burnt up towns and cities, and got into his hands the most commodious places, and overcame and put to flight no small number of his enemies.
Con.
Woo! He
Meaning
said no small number.
yeah, con. It's gonna go on to tell you too. But man,
Con.
I mean
Verse
he went
7.
hard. He went hard with his slaughter, man.
Right.
Read.
But specially, verse 7, Slucky. Verse 7, but specially took he advantage of the night for such privy attempts. Hey, he was like at night. He was like, we're gonna do this at night, man. That's why we're more stealthier, could sneak in, do all of this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so much that the fruit of his holiness was spread everywhere. That's like it's like you seen imagine being a Jew trotting down and you just see your enemies getting destroyed. You're like, oh my, who's doing that? You know what I'm saying? It gotta be somebody holy. It gotta be somebody on our side. You know what I'm saying? Is it an angel? Keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
Verse 8. So when Philip saw that this man increased by little and little, and that the things prospered with him still more and more, he wrote unto Ptolemy.
Right.
Yeah,
So this
Ptolemy,
so this is Ptolemy's kingdom. You know, he wrote unto Ptolemus. Right? Read.
the governor of Celesyria, and Finis, to yield more aid to the king's affairs.
Con. So he's asking one of the generals, right? Because Antiochus split the no Alexander split the kingdom into four, right? And Ptolemy or Ptolemus was one of those generals, and he's asking one of the other out of the four generals for for aid, for assistance to be allies against this, for this. Verse 9.
Con, con. Verse 9. Then forthwith choosing Nicanor, the son of Patroclus, one of his special friends, he sent him with no fewer than 20,000 of all nations under him, to root out the whole generation of the Jews. And with him he joined also Gorgias, a captain, who in matters of war had great experience. They're like, man, we got to get some of the top men, man. We got to do something about this. You know what I'm saying?
Con,
Let's choose Nicanor. Let's get Nicanor and his special friends. You know, it's no fewer than 20,000, all the nations under him. You know what I'm saying? We're going to use these men to go root out the whole generation of the Jews. You know what I'm saying?
you could read on this, in First Maccabees, chapter 1 to chapter like 6, and you'll get this account.
Uh, Verse 10. So Nicanor undertook to make so much money of the captive Jews as should defray the tribute of 2,000 talents, which the king was to pay to the Romans. So it's like, you know what,
So
man? Yeah, let's go get them. Let's go get them. Let's round them up. Let's sell them because we owe the Romans anyways. Let's just sell them and pay the Romans what we make off of them. Verse 11. Wherefore immediately he sent to the cities upon the sea coast, proclaiming a sale of the captive Jews, and promising that they should have 80 bodies for 1 talent. Hey, that's 70, man. 70 for 1 talent. 70 bodies, 70 humans for 1 talent, man. Not expecting the vengeance that was to follow upon him from the Almighty God.
Somebody's watching you.
Ooh,
Somebody's
yep.
watching you.
got that black cloud over him, man, but they can't even see it. Verse 12. Now, when word was brought unto Judas of Nicanor's coming, and he had imparted unto those that were with him that the army was at hand. So he told his brothers, like, yo, man, they coming. Verse 13. They that were fearful and distrusted the justice of Yahweh fled and conveyed themselves away. Man, scaredy cats, man. You know what I'm saying? Others sold all that they had left and withal besought Yahweh to deliver them, sold by the wicked Nicanor before they met together. Right? So everybody's like, you know what? I'm going to sell everything we got. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna sell everything we got. We gonna pray that the Most High delivers us. Salaki. Khan. Verse 15. And if not for their own sakes, yet for the covenants he had made with their fathers, and for his holy and glorious name's sake, by which they were called. So we're just gonna do it for the glory of the Most High. Period. Not for us, you know what I'm saying? But for the so the covenants of our fathers can continue, so the glory of the Most High's name can continue. We're not gonna fold. Verse 16. So Maccabeus called his men together unto the number of 6,000, and exhorted them not to be stricken with terror of the enemy, nor to fear the great multitude of the heathen, who came wrongly against them, but to fight manfully.
He's calling everybody.
So Maccabeus is like, look, man, don't fear, don't even worry about it. You know, even though they a great multitude, and they coming against us in a wrongful matter, hey man, don't even trip about that.
The Most High call us up. You know.
I want to go. I can't go. I can't afford it.
So where we at? Verse 17. Okay, yeah. I'll keep going, y'all. Verse 17. For they, said he, trust in their weapons and boldness, but our confidence is in the Almighty.
Is he already gone, or is he leaving?
Who at the back?
We still here.
Mute your mic. Mute your mic.
Go ahead. Salakia.
Verse 18 says, for they, said he, trust in their weapons and boldness, but our confidence is in the Almighty, who at a beck, right, at an instant, can cast down both them that come against us, and also all the world. So he's telling his brothers, like, don't fear, don't worry about this great multitude or any of that, right? Because look, now I skip one, Salakia. And to set before their eyes the injury. Let me start back at 16. Salakia, chat. So Maccabeus called his men together unto the number of 6,000, and exhorted them not to be stricken with terror of the enemy, nor to fear the great multitude of the heathen, who came wrongly against them, but to fight manfully, and to set before their eyes the injury that they had unjustly done to the holy place. Gonna show them, like, look what y'all done. Y'all gonna see what y'all done, right? And the cruel handling of the city, whereof they made a mockery, and also the taking away of the government of their forefathers. We gonna tell them, like, this is what you did. This is what we standing on. We ain't playing that game. We here to do something about what y'all did to us, right? Making the enemies realize, oh yeah, that's what y'all mad about. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Verse 18. Moreover, he recounted. Oh, Salaki, 18. For they said to trust in their weapons and boldness, but our confidence is in the Almighty, who at a beck can cast down both them that come against us, and also all the world. Bring it out.
This is the book of Second Maccabees, chapter Salakia, chapter 2 and verse Salakia. First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 64. Right? And this part of what was being read right now, you understand? It says, Salakia, verse 64. This is First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 64. Wherefore, you, my son, be valiant and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law. For by it shall obtain, Salakia, for by it shall you obtain glory. Right? So this is what exactly is going on right here, man. You know, he said, be valiant and show yourself men, right? Be valiant mean be strong, you know, be mighty. Don't be scared, right? He sent forth valiant men. Right?
Read on. It's lucky. Here we go.
18.
It's lucky, yeah. 18. Again, for they said he trust in their weapons and boldness, but our confidence is in the Almighty, who at a beck, right, at an instant, any second, can cast down both them that come against us, and also all the world. See, they trust in their weapons and boldness. We trust in the Most High, right? Verse 19. Moreover, he recounted unto them what helps their forefathers had found, and how they were delivered when under Sennacherib 185,000 perish. Sennacherib, that's a Neo-Assyrian ruler of Assyria, right? Northern Mesopotamia, I believe. That's something that we were delivered from, right? 185,000 perished. And he told them of the battle that they had in Babylon with the Galatians, right? I encourage y'all to go type in the Galatian Wars, right, and do a study on that. It's some good meat there. You know what I'm saying? So Khan. How they became but 8,000 in all to the business with 4,000 Macedonians. and that the Macedonians being perplexed, the 8,000 destroyed and 120,000 because of the help that they had from heaven, and so received a great booty, which would be a great shame, right?
Now, a great booty is
a spoil. It's like a spoil.
Yeah, a spoil, treasure.
Right. Okay, so verse 21. Thus, when he had made them bold with these words, and ready to die for the law and the country, he divided his army into 4 parts. So everybody's like, yeah, we with it. All right, okay. Brought him back into that spirit, you know what I'm saying? That warrior mindset. We going in. 22. And joined with himself his own brethren, leaders of each band, to wit Simon and Joseph and Jonathan, giving each one 1,500 men. So these were the leaders, Simon, Joseph, and Jonathan, of the 4 parts, because he split them into 4, made them leaders of those 4 parts. Each part had 1,500 men with them. Also, he appointed Eleazar to read the holy book. And when he had given them this watchword, the help of Yahweh, himself leading the first band. And by the help, clicked on it. And by the help of the Almighty, they slew above 9,000 of their enemies, and wounded and maimed the most part of Nicanor's host, and so put all to flight. Hey man, had them running, man.
They saw what was going down, man. They were beating them blue and black. You know what I mean? Some of them hands got chopped off. You know, they got hit in the thigh, half of the thigh just hanging. You know what I mean? Hey man, it was a great battle, man. You feel what I'm saying?
Great battle, because that's only 6,000.
Right, sent them boys straight to flight. You know what I mean? Read on.
Right. And took their money. Verse 25, and took their money that came to buy them, and pursued them far, but lacking time, they returned. Oh yeah, this money, this is what y'all was gonna buy us with. Oh yeah, we taking that.
We're gonna need that. You know, we're
gonna need that. Ain't nobody buying no slaves over here, man. We taking your bread, man.
Read on.
26, for it was the day before the Shabbat, and therefore they would no longer pursue them.
So look, before that sun go down, we need to make it back where we gonna be resting at, so we don't have to. We ain't pursuing them on the Shabbat day. Now, if they come to us, we gonna let them have it. You feel what I'm saying?
And especially
but we're not
when
doing no pursuing.
Especially when the Most High is on your side, you be like, yeah, we gonna keep his Shabbat. We he's on our side. We keeping that Shabbat. He's gonna be on our side regardless. You know what I'm saying? We taking advantage of the Most High being on our side, so we're gonna uphold what we have to do to keep him on our side, man. We need you. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Verse 27. So when they had gathered their armor together and spoiled their enemies, they occupied themselves about the Sabbath, yielding exceeding praise and thanks to Yahweh, who had preserved them unto that day, which was the beginning of mercy distilling upon them, right? Because the Most High is now showing that he's now dealing with them and he's not going to utterly destroy them because they didn't
Con, the
all turn
mercy,
wicked, right? Right. He's dealing with these 6,000 men.
Con, and the
Con.
mercies, the mercies was resting upon him, right? Upon
Mm-hmm.
them. Read on.
Distilling, yeah, con. And after the Sabbath, when they had given part of the spoils to the maimed, and the widows and orphans, the residue they divided among themselves and their servants. So it's like, yeah, we took everything from the enemies. We're gonna make sure we give it to the people first, and then whatever's left, we're gonna give to ourselves, right? When this was done, and they had made a common supplication, they besought the merciful Yahweh to be reconciled with his servants forever.
Con, can you stay
Moreover,
with us and hold us and keep us forever?
right. We don't want to depart from your law. We want you to be with us forever. We don't want to go through you departing from us and we go through this again. Verse 30. Moreover, of those that were with Timotheus and Bacchides, who fought against them, they slew about 20,000 and very easily got high and strong holds and divided among themselves many spoils more, and made the maimed, orphans, widows, yea, and the aged also, equal in spoils with themselves. So they took even more spoils. Hey, they took a stronghold. They got these high watchtower fortress looking places that the enemies was running into. Hey, they took that, man.
Con,
And whatever was in it, hey man, they gave the spoils and split it again.
con,
Verse
that's us.
31.
That's us,
Con.
homie.
And when they had gathered and when they had gathered their armor together, they laid them up all carefully in convenient places. Oh, we gonna hide some here, man. Let's tuck these spoils over here in this part. Let's hide it under this chamber. You know what I mean? And the remnant of the spoils they brought to Jerusalem, whatever was left. And you're gonna bring it back to Jerusalem, man. Verse 32. They slew also Philarchus, that wicked person, who was with Timotheus and had annoyed the Jews many ways. Hey, that's that loudmouth guy. Ha ha! We're gonna take over your kingdom. Ha ha ha! Whoopsh.
Con,
Weapon is his
con,
chariot. Whoopsh. Yeah, that's you know what I mean.
con.
That's
That's
that
that guy.
annoying, man. Man, I can't wait till he die. I'm gonna get him first.
Con,
Furthermore,
that's right.
at, at such time as they kept the feast for the victory in their country, they burnt Callisthenes. They had set fire upon the holy gates, who had fled into a little house. And so he received a reward meet for his wickedness. Hey, he got what he
Con,
deserved, man.
con,
You know? Verse 34. As for the most ungracious Nicanor, who had brought 1,000 merchants to buy the Jews, he was through the help of Yahweh brought down by them, of whom he made least account, and putting off his glorious apparel and discharging his company, he came like a fugitive servant through the midland unto Antioch, having very great dishonor, for that his host was destroyed. Right?
oh
Hey man,
wait,
so he came running in, clothes ripped, no army, no horsemen behind us. King, you won't believe what happened. With shame all upon him, you know what I'm saying? All of that, man. That's
con,
that's that's what it was on.
con.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Come. And it says 36. Thus he that took upon him to make good to the Romans their tribute by means of captives in Jerusalem. Let me read it again, Slaki. Thus he that took upon him to make good to the Romans their tribute by means of captives in Jerusalem, told
Con, this that
abroad.
siege. This that siege, man. This is what Yahweh Shai was speaking on, man. Read on.
uh, told abroad that the Jews had Yahweh to fight for them, and therefore they could not be hurt because they followed the laws that he gave them. right?
Mm.
Con. I got a precept on that too.
Con.
Get it real quick. Classic, right? Judith chapter 5 and verse 20. And it reads, "Now therefore, my lord and governor," this is Achior talking to his governor, Holofernes, right? "If there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and
Con.
their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world." Right?
Con.
So if we,
He knew
yeah,
how to operate with the Israelites.
uh that's right. So if we on one accord with the Most High, He's going to be a defense to us. If we depart from the laws of God, hey man, we vulnerable out here for these other nations to do whatever they want with us, which we see
Hey,
today, right?
I'm a mute up. I'm about to call you. I'm about to call you right quick.
Con. Brief moment.
Con. Shalawam. Salaki. YASHARAHLA.
Okay. So where we at? Okay,
Uh.
yeah, next chapter. We on the next chapter.
Con.
Or Salakia. 34, right? Yeah.
No,
34.
we're on the next chapter.
Next chapter, Second Maccabees, chapter 9 and verse 1. "At that time came Antiochus with dishonor out of the country of Persia, for he had entered the city called Persepolis, and went about to rob the temple and to hold the city. Whereupon the multitude, running to defend themselves with their weapons, put them to flight. And so it happened that Antiochus, being put to flight of the inhabitants, returned with shame. Now, when he came to Ecbatane, news was brought him that what had happened unto Nicanor and Timotheus." So Antiochus is like, man, why am I hearing all this, man? I sent y'all out there to go do all this work and all this. Y'all supposed to be handling this business, man. So now I got to come down and get on my feet, man. This is why he's upset, man. This is why it
Con.
says Antiochus with dishonor out of the country. He came out of there, saying, oh, I got to go do something myself now, right?
Con.
Because he learned about what happened unto Nicanor and Timotheus. Verse 4, "Then swelling with anger, he thought to avenge upon the Jews the disgrace done unto him by those that made him flee. Therefore commanded he his chariotmen to drive without ceasing, and to dispatch the journey, the judgment of God now following him. For he had spoken proudly in this sort, that he would come to Jerusalem and make it a common burying place of the Jews." He's like, man, I'm just gonna go in and destroy all y'all. I'm gonna just handle this myself, man. I'm so angry. Y'all couldn't do one job. Y'all had one job, right? Verse
Con.
5. "But the Lord Almighty, Yahweh of YASHARAHLA, smote him with an incurable and invisible plague. Or as soon as he had spoken these words, a pain of the bowels that was remediless came upon him, and sore torments of the inner parts. So when he was talking all this mess, man, the Most High didn't just knock him off his horse or let something fall and kill him, or somebody hit him with a sword. Nah, the Most High hit him with a plague from the inside, man, all up in his bowels, a disease, right? And that most justly, for he had tormented other men's bowels with many strange torments. Hey, man, you ever look up Roman torture devices or Greek torture devices, man? These things, man, is horrible, right? So Antiochus, man, he was doing these works. He was tormenting people's bowels from the inside, pulling out their guts, intestines, and doing all kinds of horrible atrocities to our people, man. So the Most High
That's
hit him
right.
like that, man. Right?
Yep.
Verse 7. Khan, you got something you want to say, Slaki?
Nuh-uh.
Okay, Khan. Verse 7. Howbeit he nothing at all ceased from his bragging, but still was filled with pride, breathing out fire in his rage against the Jews and commanding to haste the journey. He's like, man, I'm messed up. Curse you. I'm still gonna kill you. Oh, my stomach. I'm still gonna, you know what I mean? Still in that pride spirit, man.
Con.
He's like, hurry up and kill him. I feel like I'm dying. Hurry up and get it over. You know what I mean? He's in that pride spirit. But it came to pass that he fell down from his chariot, carried violently. So, hey, man, hey, he fell off his chariot. He might have got stuck on it, his leg or something, and that chariot was carrying his ass. His body hit, you know what I'm saying? So that having a sore fall, all the members of his body were much pain. Hey, he fell off his chariot. His leg probably got attached to some line on it and was being dragged violently by that chariot, beating his whole body up, man, all up on the ground. You know, you get what I'm saying? Y'all can picture that, man. And thus he,
Pre-
and thus he, the Khan, go ahead, preset.
yeah, con. Con. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 4. It says, and this is a precept on, like, when we're reading this, we got to understand that this is Edom. This is Edom. This is the people that God said he hate. You feel what I'm saying? So it says, this is the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. And the people against whom Yahweh have indignation forever. That means fierce anger, right? Wrath, right? So the same wrath that he had against us, Yahweh got that against him times 7, times 10, right? To a complete number of times.
Khan, I got a precept too on top of that. Let's get it. This is Proverbs 16, verse 18, right? This is Proverbs 16 and 18. It says, pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. You know what I'm saying? Better it is to be of an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. So when you feel proud, man, that's the first steps that's going to lead you to utter destruction, that proud spirit. And we can see that that's happening right here to Antiochus, man. You know, so he fell off his damn chariot, got carried and beat up, being dragged, man, violently. You know? Come on, let's continue on. Verse 8, 2 Maccabees 9 and 8. And thus he, a little afore, thought he might command the waves of the sea. So proud was he beyond the condition of man. Hey, this is the most, he thought he was God at this point, man. You know what I'm saying? He thought he was the most high. And weigh the high mountains in the balance, was now cast on the ground and carried in on a horse litter, showing forth unto all the manifest power of Yahweh, man. So you think you high and mighty? You think you the top? You God? I'm the creator. I'm the most high, right? Hey man, you get struck down. That's the power of the true most high, man. You know what I'm saying? Now his power is manifest, man. You just a man. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, why are we following King Antiochus for, man? He's not a god. Look how he just got casted down. That must have been the power of the true living God. You know what I'm saying? Verse 9. So that the worms rose up out of the body of this wicked man, and whilst he lived in sorrow and pain, his flesh fell away, and the filthiness of his smell was noisome to all his army. Whew, man was stinking.
Hey man, so you see, the Most High was judging him as he was trying to be wroth and judge us and get at us even harder. The Most High was getting on him even harder, right? And then what ended up happening is, you know, when the Most High was judging him, he was like, all right, well, look, I'm gonna repent from this evil that I was about to do to the Jews. And even though, even though I'm dying out, I'm not going to change my mind about it. I'm still about to repent. You feel what I'm saying?
Con. Let's keep going. Verse 8. Salakia. Verse 11. Salakia. Verse 10. Right? So he was starting to stink, man. Worms was coming out his damn body. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a wicked man, right? He was in pain. He was in sorrow. His flesh was starting to deteriorate. Hey, he going through the worst, man. Right? And that in verse 10, and the man that thought a little afore he could reach to the stars of heaven, no man could endure to carry for his intolerable stink. Hey man, it was like, hey man, I gotta put him down, man. I can't take this anymore, man. It's intolerable. I can't even tolerate this stink, man. Right? Verse 11. Here therefore, being plagued, he began to leave off his great pride, and to come to the knowledge of himself by the scourge of Yahweh, his pain increasing every moment. Starting to realize, like, you know what, man? Hey man, I gotta stop acting like that, right? Verse 12.
Salaki, YASHARAHLA spoke too early, man. I gave it away.
Con. And when he himself could not abide his own smell, he said these words: it is meet, meaning it is good, right? It's a good thing to be subject unto God, and that a man that is mortal should not proudly think of himself as if he were God. This wicked person vowed also unto Yahweh, who now no more would have mercy upon him, saying this: hey man, you can say whatever you want to the Most High at this point. He's still not gonna have mercy on you, right? He destroying your ass, man. You being destroyed slowly, right? Verse 14. That the holy city, to the which he was going in haste to lay it even with the ground, right? Talking about Jerusalem, and to make it a common burying place, he would set at liberty. So now Antiochus is telling himself, you know what, man, I'm just gonna go free. I'm gonna free them. He's trying to redeem himself at this point, man. But the Most High is letting him know, hey, man, who now would show no more would have mercy upon him. Most High, who now no more would show mercy. Yeah, he ain't dealing with you.
So he repented of the evil that he was about to put on the Jews. Like he was about to deal like bad, like horrible with us. And he repented that thing because the Most High had vexed him.
Verse 15. As touching the Jews, whom he had judged not worthy so much as to be buried, but to be cast out with their children to be devoured of the fowls and wild beasts, he would make them all equals to the citizens of Athens. Oh man, that sounds just like us being integrated with the damn Edomites, man, over here in America. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make us equal. 16. And the holy temple, which before he had spoiled, he would garnish with goodly gifts and restore all the holy vessels with many more. And out of his own revenue, defray the charges belonging to the sacrifices. Right? He's going to pay for all that stuff, man. He's going to return everything. And he's even going to pay out of his own pocket the stuff that costs to make the sacrifices to make it clean again. Verse 17. Yea, and that also he would become a Jew himself. Hey, he defeated, man. He defeated all the way, man. He's
Oh,
trying.
finished, man.
He
Like
finished, man.
he was like, "Hey, look, man, I'm ready to follow y'all belief, man, because the Most High that y'all serve is real. You feel what I'm saying? That sucker is beating me down to the ground, man."
Man, that sounds a lot like Nebuchadnezzar too, man. Nebuchadnezzar was like, sat back down on his throne, like, hey, man, we about to serve your God, Daniel. I ain't playing no more games, man. See what he did to me? I was an animal out there for 7 years, man.
So yeah, man, read Daniel, right, and get that story, man, right?
Con. Shalawam to everybody in here. Y'all Bashim, y'all Shah, right? So Shalawam, y'all. Right, let's keep going. All right. Yea, and that also he would become a Jew himself and go through all the world that was inhabited and declare the power of God. Right? He's about to be on that Paul spirit, man. You know, I'm for to travel now. I'm for to profess your name everywhere I go. Verse 18. But for all this, his pains would not cease, for the just judgment of God was come upon him. Therefore, despairing of his health, he wrote unto the Jews the letter underwritten, containing the form of a supplication after this manner. So he realized, look, man, I know I'm not gonna make it. So now I gotta write a letter, to do what I can do. Cause I'm trying to go out with at least something, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a little form of pride still. Selfishness, you know what I'm saying? Therefore, yep, Saki. Cons, keep going. Now, this is the letter that he wrote, right? Antiochus, king and governor, to the good Jews, his citizens, wisheth much joy, health, and prosperity. Yeah, all of a sudden, huh? You was just on your way to come wipe us out completely, man. But all of a sudden, yeah, that's right. That's the power of the Most High, man. Verse 20, if ye and your children fare well, and your affairs be to your contentment, I give very great thanks to God, having my hope in heaven. As for me, I was weak, or else I would have remembered kindly your honor and good will returning out of Persia, and being taken with a grievous disease. I thought it necessary to care for the common safety of all, not distrusting mine health, but having great hope to escape this sickness. Yeah, to see he's still being selfish at this point, man. That's why the Most High he ain't dealing with him. He's trying to redeem himself, man. But considering that even my father, at what time
Esau found no place of repentance, even when he tried to repent.
That's right. Verse 23. But considering that even my father, at what time he led an army into the high countries, appointed a successor. Right. So this talking about two Antiochus. The first one, and then this is his son Antiochus, or was Epiphanes. The first one, Antiochus Epiphanes, and this one is Antiochus Euphrates or something like that. It'll get to it. It's lucky, right? To the end that if anything fell out contrary to expectation, or if any tidings were brought that were grievous, they of the land, knowing to whom the state was left, might not be troubled. Again, considering how that the princes that are borderers and neighbors unto my kingdom wait for opportunities, and expect what shall be the event, I have appointed my son Antiochus king, whom I often committed and commended unto many of you, when I went up into the high provinces, to whom I have written as followeth. Right now, this is the letter basically from the father, right, to this Antiochus. Therefore, I pray and request you to remember the benefits that I have done unto you generally, and in special, and that every man will be still faithful to me and my son. For I am persuaded that he, understanding my mind, will favorably and graciously yield to your desires. Thus, the murderer and blasphemer, having suffered most grievously, as he entreated other men, so died he a miserable death in a strange country in the mountains. And Philip, that was brought up with him, carried away his body, who also fearing the son of Antiochus, went into Egypt to Ptolemy Philometor. Right? So this Antiochus is charged by his father Antiochus, right, to continue on in his ways. That's what this is. This is what it's proclaiming. This is what he was supposed to do. You're supposed to live up to the expectations of the first Antiochus, and his son is the one that came out of Persia that got hit in the bowels with the diseases and all that. Right? Con. Second Maccabees chapter 10. Now Maccabeus and his company, the Lord guiding them, recovered the temple and the city. But the altars which the heathen had built in the open street, and also the chapels, they pulled down. And having cleansed the temple, they made another altar. And striking stones, they took fire out of them and offered a sacrifice after 2 years, and set forth incense and lights and showbread. When that was done, they fell flat down and besought the Lord that they might come no more into such troubles. But if they sinned any more against him, that he himself would chasten them with mercy, and that they might not be delivered unto the blasphemous and barbarous nations. So they went in back into the temple, went back into Jerusalem, man, pulled down what the heathens did, cleaned it up, brought it back, put incense on there, you know what I'm saying? And brought it back to life, man. And then they prayed to the Most High, like, don't let this happen to us again. I pray thee. You know what I'm saying? And if we do sin against you, chasten us with mercy. You know what I mean? And don't deliver us into these blasphemous and barbarous nations, man. Because these nations are just barbarians, right? They just do what they want, man. The children of men, Now, upon the same day that the strangers profaned the temple, on the very same day it was cleansed again, even the 25th day of the same month, which is Caslu. Verse 6. And they kept the 8 days with gladness, as in the Feast of Tabernacles, remembering that not long afore they had held the Feast of Tabernacles, when as they wandered in the mountains and dens like beasts. Right? They're remembering the wilderness. They're remembering what their forefathers went through. Therefore they bare branches and fair boughs and palms also, and sang psalms unto him that had given them good success in cleansing his place. Right? The Most High willing, the Most High did allow them to go and cleanse that place. Right? So they gave fair boughs, sang songs, and all of that. They gave all praises to the Most High. Verse 8. They ordained also by a common statute and decree that every year those days should be kept of the whole nation of the Jews, right? It's talking about Hanukkah. So, you know what I'm saying? Feast of dedication. Verse 9. And this was the end of Antiochus, called Epiphanes. Now, we declare the acts of Antiochus Eupator, right? That's where you get the word Jupiter from. Antiochus Eupator, who was the son of this wicked man, gathering briefly the calamities of the wars, right? So Antiochus Epiphanes is the father of Antiochus Eupator. This Antiochus Eupator is the one that got hit in the bowels by the Most High with that incurable and invisible disease, right? He's the son. And this Antiochus was trying to keep the charge of his father, Epiphanes, his expectations, but hey, he failed, man. He failed by the power of Yahweh, man.
Salakia. And it's crazy because Antiochus, the first one, the father of all these Antiochuses, was so proud and full of pride, he named them all his sons Antiochus.
Con, yeah, it's con.
How many Antiochuses do you need, man?
Con. All right, let's get back to it. Right. Now we will declare the acts of Antiochus Eupator, who was the son of this wicked man, Antiochus Epiphanes, gathering briefly the calamities of the wars. So when he was come to the crown, he set one, Lysias, over the affairs of his realm, and appointed him his chief governor of Celesyria and Phenice. For Ptolemy, that was called Macron, choosing rather to do justice unto the Jews for the wrong that hath been done unto them, endeavored to continue peace with them. Right? So Ptolemy was like, look, man, we got to do something for them. You know what I'm saying? We did them dirty. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to continue peace with them. Whereupon, being accused of the king's friends before Eupator and called traitor at every word because he had left Cyprus, right, that Philometor had committed unto him and departed to Antiochus Epiphanes. And seeing that he was in no honorable place, he was so discouraged that he poisoned himself and died. So Ptolemy was like, hey, they was looking at him like, hey, man, you a traitor. You know what I'm saying? We against the Jews. You trying to be peaceful with them. You know, hey, you don't got no place here, man. You ain't with us no more, man. Be gone, you want to be. Be gone. You know what I'm saying? Like Charles Barkley on Space Jam. You know, you ain't the real Charles Barkley. You know what I'm saying? Be gone, you want to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's, hey, man, so he was so dishonorable and so discouraged. He's like, man, I'm just going to go kill myself, man. And that's what he did. He poisoned himself and died, right? Verse 14. But when Gorgias was governor of the hold, he hired soldiers and nourished war continually with the Jews. Gorgias was still with us. Like, man, we still against them. They still the ops, man. Right? Verse 15.
Salakia, if you mind, man, if you don't mind, you could grab, I believe it's Job 9 and 24.
Con.
24.
Hand of the wicked. Con.
Yeah.
Why did it do that? Why did it pop up like that? Con, this is Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
So these people, man, they the wicked ones, man. So, you know, just like it said in First Maccabees, and wickedness was multiplied.
Con. Let's go. So Gorgias, you know, he was governor of the holds. He hired soldiers. He still wanted to come beef with us, the Jews, right? Verse 15. And therewithal, the Idumeans, right? This is the Greek word for Edomites, right? Edom. That's how you say Edomites or Edom in the Greek language. Idumea or Idumeans, and therewithal, the Edomites, having gotten into their hands the most commodious holds, kept the Jews occupied, and receiving those that were banished from Jerusalem, they went about to nourish war.
Salakia, kept the Jews occupied, right? When you go into not Exodus, Judith, I believe chapter 5, it says the Egyptians kept us occupied with brick and mortar. You feel what I'm saying? That's the same thing that these people was doing to make us forget or make us not even acknowledge the law, statutes, and commandments, man. They made us work hard, man, keeping us occupied.
That's right. And that's a tactic of control too. When you got the taskmaster sitting above you, walking back and forth on the gates with a sword and shield, watching you, making sure you're doing what you're doing, man.
You know? and striking you. You understand?
Yup.
Work faster.
Yeah, you slow down. Oh, take a break. Oh, you back. Get back in work, man. Gotta keep you busy, man. You know, hey, man, it's wicked. All right, let's get back to it. 16. Second Maccabees chapter 9 and verse 16. And it reads, Then they that were with Maccabeus made supplication and besought Yahweh that he would be their helper. And so they ran with violence upon the strongholds of the Idumeans, and assaulting them strongly, they won the holds and kept off all that fought upon the wall, and slew.
Salakia. and it said Yahweh is our help, right? Like David said, the same way right now, man. The same way right now, we don't gather an army. We're not a million man marching it, gathering an army to fight against Idumea. No,
Right, man.
We ask Yahweh to redeem us, to help us, man. You feel what I'm saying? It's not in our hands that we could do this thing. You feel what I'm saying? On our own. So we ask Yahweh to be our help. Salaki,
That's
that's
right.
all I want.
That's right. And like, come on, Jake. Come on, Eve. Like, what do you expect? You can't go against Esau and all his military might, his missiles. What are you gonna do against the missile, man? What you gonna do against 1,500 AR-15s with red dot sights pointing at you, man? We don't have that carnal power, because remember what we read in chapter 8. They trust in their weapons and boldness. We trust in the Almighty, man. That's what's gonna save us in these last days, right?
Bring
Verse
it
7,
out.
verse 17. Yeah, verse 17. So we ran against the strongholds of the Edomites, right? Strongly, assaulting them strongly, they won the holds and kept off all that fought upon the wall, and slew all that fell into their hands, and killed no fewer than 20,000, right? And because certain who were no less than 9,000 were fled together into two very strong castles, having all manner of things convenient to sustain the siege. Hey man, so when we attacked that main stronghold, they split. Some ran into this stronghold, some ran into this stronghold, and they felt in their mind that these strongholds was enough to sustain a siege, right? Oh, you can't get me. I'm hiding behind this brick door. You can't get me, right? Verse 18. Verse 19. Maccabeus left Simon and Joseph and Zacchaeus also, and them that were with him, who were enough to besiege them, and departed himself unto those places which more needed his help. Now, so basically that main stronghold, you got Simon there, you got Joseph, you got Zacchaeus there, and some other people that were with them, right? So Maccabeus was like, okay, I'm gonna leave you guys here, and I'm gonna go to these two strongholds where they fled to. I'm gonna go handle that, right? Verse 20. Now they that were with Simon, being led with covetousness, were persuaded for money through certain of those that were in the castle, and took 70,000 drachms and let some of them escape. Hey man, Simon went off, man. Simon let some of them out. Hey man, we'll pay you, man. You let us, squeeze by you real quick. Hey man, we'll give you some drachms. We're gonna pay you, man. Simon's like, let me see. All right. We'll give you 70. We'll give you 1,000 drachms. Nah. We'll give you 10,000 drachms. Nah. We'll give you 70,000 drachms. You know what I mean? He fell into it, man, and let some of them escape. But when it was told Maccabeus what was done, he called the governors of the people together and accused those men that they had sold their brethren for money and set their enemies free to fight against them. So he slew those.
That Judas Maccabees, I mean that Judas Iscariot,
Spirit,
uh,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Con.
How you gonna sell your, for damn money?
Right,
How you
right,
gonna sell
con.
us for money, man? No amount of money should have us selling out one another, man. I
Right,
don't give a damn if it's
con.
$1 million or a house on a hill, and your family really need it. You living on the street right now. No amount of money should be worth selling your brother out, man.
Or letting the heathens escape. Con. Let's get it. Let's get it. So, but when it was told Maccabeus what was done, he called the governors of the people together and accused those men that they had sold their brethren for money and set their enemies free to fight against them. So he slew those that were found traitors and immediately took the two castles. And having good success with his weapons in all things he took in hand, he slew into, so let me read that again. And having good success with his weapons in all things he took in hand, he slew in the two holds more than 20,000. Now Timotheus, whom the Jews had overcome before, when he had gathered a great multitude of foreign forces and horses out of Asia, not a few, not a few, came as though he would take Jewry by force of arms. So Timotheus came back like, yo, man, y'all thought y'all got rid of me? Y'all, oh, nah, I'm coming back even harder. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take it by force this time. But when he drew near, they that were with Maccabeus turned themselves to pray unto Yahweh and sprinkled earth upon their heads and girded their loins with sackcloth and fell down at the foot of the altar and besought him to be merciful to them and to be an enemy to their enemies and an adversary to their adversary as the law declareth. Right? And where's that account? Where's that account? We'll get that account right now. Right? What is it? Chapter 9? Yeah, con. Oh yeah, that's already passed. I already passed that letter. Oh, Salaki, we're on chapter 10. Let me get it real quick. Exodus 23. Con, this is Exodus chapter 23 and verse 22. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies and an adversary unto thine adversary. Right? So that's what it's quoting. Exodus 23 and 22. Let's read that again. All right. Man, I hate when it don't go right back to the same spot, man. Yeah, I see what happened. Slocky. Right here, right? Verse 26. And fell down at the foot of the altar and besought him to be merciful to them and to be an enemy to their enemies and an adversary to their adversaries as the law declareth, right? Exodus 23:22 is what this is referring to. So after the prayer, they took their weapons and went on further from the city. And when they drew near to their enemies, they kept by themselves. Now, the sun being newly risen, they joined both together, the one part having together with their virtue, their refuge also unto Yahweh for a pledge of their success and victory. The other side making their rage leader of their battle, right? So you have one part doing a pledge, praying to the Most High to aid us in this battle that's about to come right now, right? And the other side, they're getting geared up and they roaring themselves up, getting ready for battle. Y'all with me? Kwame YASHARAHLA, Kwame YASHARAHLA. The whole, that's what's going on. 29. But when the battle waxed strong, there appeared unto the enemies from heaven 5 comely men upon horses, with bridles of gold. 2 of them led the Jews. What did that sound like? What did that sound like to you? That's powerful, man. That's powerful. 5 comely men upon horses, right? That's some angels, man, right? There appeared unto the enemies from heaven 5 comely men upon horses, with bridles of gold, and 2 of them led the Jews, and took Maccabeus betwixt them, and covered him on every side, weapons, and kept him safe, but shot arrows and lightnings against the enemies, so that being confounded with blindness and full of trouble, they were killed. Hey, they didn't understand what kind of power was being thrown at them and destroying them, man. All right? That's power from the heavens. Verse 31. And there were slain of footmen 20,500 and 600 horsemen. Right? Hey, man, so the Most High always had us going to war with the enemies, man. He was always there with us, man. You know? Talking about God loves everybody. That's all unified. That's madness, right? Verse 32. As for Timotheus himself, He fled into a very stronghold called Gara, where Chirius was governor. But they that were with Maccabeus laid siege against the fortress courageously 4 days. So they camping outside 4 days, like, hey, yo, you know, we know you in there. Come on out, man. You know, hey, we finna come in there and get you. But they that were with Slakia 34, and they that were within, trusting to the strength of the place, blasphemed exceedingly and uttered wicked words. Y'all can't get us. They trusted in that fortress that was going to protect them, man. You know what I'm saying? And they blasphemed exceedingly. They were so sure that that fortress was going to protect him that they was talking all the mess, man. It was talking a whole lot of mess, right? Wicked words. Nevertheless, they was probably talking mess about the Most High at that time. Oh, yo, God ain't nothing, and he can't get us. Look at y'all. You know, hey, man, wicked words, man. 35. Nevertheless, upon the 5th day early, 20 young men of Maccabeus' company, inflamed with anger because of the blasphemies, assaulted the wall manly and with a fierce courage killed all that they met withal. Right, so they was hot, man. They was hot. Yeah, you ain't finna be talking about me, my people, my God, or none of that, man. You know what? They went in there, assaulted that wall, manly destroyed it, went in there with fierce courage and killed as many that were inside. Verse 36. Others likewise ascending after them, whilst they were busied with them that were within, burnt the towers and kindling fires, burnt the blasphemers alive. Whew. He burnt them to death, man. Y'all blaspheme. That you getting put to death by fire. And others broke open the gates, and having received in the rest of the army, took the city. Right? Verse 37. And killed Timotheus, that was hid in a certain pit, and Chirius his brother, with Apollophanes. Right? So Timotheus, man, he went inside. He tried to hide inside because after they went in there, they broke the walls down, started killing everybody in there. They broke in, right? So Timotheus himself, right? He tried to hide himself in a deeper chamber. You know what I mean? Hey, man, he got killed there too. When this was done, they praised Yahweh with psalms and thanksgiving, who had done so great things for YASHARAHLA and given them the victory, right? Come. Giving them the victory, man. That's 38. Yeah, that's 38. Hey, man. So this is why we put our trust in the Most High. That is our only power that we have. If we don't have the Most High on our side, man, we're going to be in this position forever, man. We're going to be trodden down as a people, right? Because we don't have that proper defense. And how do you get that proper defense? Hearkening onto the testimonies of what the Most High Yahweh has done, keeping his laws, statutes, and his commandments, having faith, right, in his Son. We have to come back to who we are as a people and start bringing these things back into remembrance and understanding that we have to have them as a defense, and this is a way. And when we come back to him, he'll come back to us, right? And nothing can overcome us, man. Our enemies, no matter if they got 1,000,000 soldiers, whatever, man, they can't. Nothing can go past the power of Yahweh, man. Right? Wicked nations, man, always trying to destroy us. All right. All right, so yeah, Matthew chapter 12 now, right? We're gonna get some of this gospel in real quick. All right. Get some of this good news going, right? Matthew 12 and verse 1, right? Oh, Slakia, right? Let me add you back. Slakia, right? Matthew chapter 12 and verse 1. It reads, at that time, Yahushua went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were hungered, and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. But he said unto them, have ye not read what David did? Right? When he was like, But he said unto them, have ye not read what David did when he was an hungered, and they that were with him? How he entered into the house of God and did eat the showbread, right? He ate the showbread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them that were with him, but only for the priests, right? And we'll get that account. We'll go and get that account right now, right? Let's go to 1 Samuel 21 and 6, right? It started 5. And it says, or it started 4, right? And the priest, this is 1 Samuel 21 and 4. And the priest answered David and said, there is no common bread under mine hand, but there is hollowed bread, if the young men have kept themselves at least from women. And David answered the priest and said unto him, of a truth, women have been kept from us about these 3 days, since I came out, and the vessels of the young men are holy, and the bread is in a manner common. Yea, though it were sanctified this day in the vessel. So the priest gave him hollowed bread, for there was no bread there but the showbread that was taken from before Yahweh, to put hot bread in the day when it was taken away. Right? So 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 he ate some of the showbread, right? Come see. Yeah, con, right? So that's it. So let's go back to Matthew. Right? How he entered into the house of Yahweh and did eat the showbread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests. Or have ye not read in the law how on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless? Right? What's that talking about? Numbers 28 or 29. Let me see. 28. If I'm not mistaken. Numbers 28 and 9. Yeah, 28 and 9. It says, and on the Sabbath day, 2 lambs of the first year without spot, and 2/10 deals of flour for a meat offering mingled with oil, and the drink offering thereof. This is the burnt offering of every Sabbath, beside the continual burnt offering and his drink offering. Right? So this is the account referring to Matthew 12. Because that's how we know, man, Christ was reading the law, man. The law is not done away with. Verse 6.
He was for show in that law.
Right. Verse 6. But I say unto you, yeah, that's right. But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple. But if you had known what this meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice, ye would not have condemned the guiltless. For the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath day. Right? Verse 9. And when he was departed thence, he went into their synagogue. And behold, there was a man which had his hand withered. And they asked him, saying, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days? That they might accuse him. And he said unto them, what man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep, and if it fall into a pit on the Sabbath day, will he not lay hold on it and lift it out? You know what I'm saying? It's like he's saying even off the Sabbath day, if you have a sheep that falls in a hole, you're gonna grab that sheep. You're not just like, oh, it's the Sabbath day. I'm sorry, sheep. You're just gonna have to stay in there until tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, who does that, right? Verse 12. How much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days, right? The Pharisees, man, they was on some they had stuff up their butt, man. You know what I'm saying? They had tight draws on, man. All high and mighty. 13. Then said he to the man, stretch forth thine hand. And he stretched it forth, and it was restored whole like as the other. Then the Pharisees went out and held a council against him, how they might destroy him. So they were having some crafty counsels against Yahushua, man. Like, you know what? Hey, we got to figure this thing out, man. We got to do something about this guy, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to do something about him. It's lucky I got something in my eye. It's lucky.
Satan came through, man. Something dang dust bunny in your eye, man. Look at
Cons. It says at verse. I can't even hear y'all. You choppy, right? Yeah, you was choppy, Oxlacky. Right. So verse 15. But when Yahushua knew it, he withdrew himself from thence, and great multitudes followed him, and he healed them all, and charged them that they should not make him known, that it might be fulfilled of Isaiah the prophet, right? Saying, behold, my servant who I have chosen, my beloved, in whom my soul is well pleased. I will put my spirit upon him, and he shall sow judgment to the Gentiles. Right? Where's that account at? Let's get it. That's Isaiah chapter 42. Let's get that account. Isaiah chapter 42, verse 1. It says, behold, my servant, whom I uphold, mine elect, in whom my soul is delighted. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. Now that word for judgment there in the Greek would be chaos, right? Chaos to the Gentiles is what it's saying, right? So let's go back. Okay, Khan. That it might be fulfilled by Isaiah the prophet, saying, behold, my servant whom I have chosen, my beloved, in whom my soul is well pleased. I will put my spirit upon him, and he shall show chaos, judgment to the Gentiles. Isaiah 42:1. He shall not strive nor cry, neither shall any man hear his voice in the streets. A bruised reed shall he not break, and smoking flax shall he not quench, till he send forth judgment unto victory, and his name shall the Gentiles trust. All right. And his name, Slocky, let me put some eye drops in real quick, Box. I got some right here. Damn, man. I think that insect got in my eye. Watering. Both eyes watering right now. Tearing up.
you can hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I think just like a stream of smoke from the insect just like landed on my eyeball, at a point in time. It's all good though.
They got you good, huh?
Let me put my camera in my eyes, man. I'm over here like this, like All right, let's get it. All right, verse 22. Then was brought unto him one possessed with a devil, blind and dumb, and he healed him, insomuch that the blind and dumb both spake and saw. And all the people were amazed and said, is not this the son of David? But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, this fellow doth not cast out devils, but by Beelzebub, the prince of the devils. Woo! They was talking that big mess against him, man. It's like, man, you ain't casting out in the name of the Most High, man. You using devils and demons to cast out, man. But watch what Christ say right here. Watch this. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto him, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he confounded him with that. And if I by Beelzebub,
Like it was a rhetorical question.
Right. They had no answer.
You
There's
know
no
what I
answer
mean?
to that.
Hey,
Right.
if Satan is casting out Satan, he's
There is
divided.
no Satan.
Hey, he can't stand.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? And if I by Beelzebub cast out devils, by whom do your children cast them out? Therefore they shall be your judges. But if I cast out devils by the Spirit of Yahweh, then the kingdom of Yahweh is come unto you. Or else, how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods except he first bind the strong man? And then he will spoil his house. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad. Right? So Yahushua is saying, like, look, man, how if I'm casting out spirits by Yahweh, right? Then know that the kingdom of Yahweh is here. But if I'm casting out spirits by Beelzebub or Satan, then how can that be? Then that means that won't stand. That kingdom won't stand because it's divided. How can Satan be here then? I'm doing it by the power of the Most High. So understand that the power of the kingdom of the Most High is at hand at this point.
That's right.
Verse 31, Slakia. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me is scattereth abroad.
Hey, get this
Woo.
precept for me, y'all. You said
Go
we
ahead.
was
What is
at
it?
31. You said we was at 31, right?
Yeah, Khan. Yeah.
Give me Matthew chapter 6 and verse 24.
This is Matthew chapter 6 and verse 24, and it reads, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon.
So you gotta choose ye this day who you might serve, man. Right? Go pull Joshua chapter Salakia, chapter 24.
The gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood, and in Egypt, and serve ye Yahweh.
Go down to as for me and my house.
Khan. It's right. Right here, verse 15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahweh, choose you this day whom ye will serve.
Do
Whether the
what?
God, he says, choose you this day whom ye will serve.
So at YASHARAHLA, man, we gotta choose ye this day who we gonna serve, man. Right? If he's casting out devils by Beelzebub, that's it doesn't make any sense, right? But if he's casting it out by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? Then it makes clear sense who he's serving. So us
Right.
as Yasharala, we need to make it known and make it clear that we serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and we got to choose that thing, right?
Khan, not Khan. So
You can
yeah,
keep going.
Khan. So Khan, there we go. Choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the God of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve Yahweh. Woo!
So for us, our house and K.O.Y. Israelites, we gonna serve Yahweh, right? But you
Khan,
choose this day, whether you believe or not, right? A non-believer might as well be a Satanist, right? Because you're an infidel, man. Your unbelief makes you an infidel. You're gonna go to and fro to every wind of doctrine. But we choose ye this day that us and our house is gonna serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. You could go back to Matthew.
Khan. Right, let me just read the last portion. And the people answered and said, God forbid that we should forsake Yahweh to serve other gods. Hell nah, man. We ain't doing that. No. Nope. Yeah, I mean? Come on, let's go back. Matthew 5 and 30. Oh, where am I? Yeah. Oh, Slaki. Matthew chapter 12 and 30. 31. Wherefore, Matthew chapter 12, verse 31. Wherefore I say unto you, all manner of sin and blasphemy shall be forgiven unto men, but blasphemy against the Holy Ghost shall not be forgiven unto men. Woo! You ain't talking about me, man. You talking about the Holy Spirit that's within me being able to do these powers and miracles. You talking about that, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't talking about my fleshly body. You blaspheme not against my flesh, you blaspheme against my Holy Spirit. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna be forgiven on that one.
Hey, read verse 33. I need you to go to Galatians chapter 2, chapter 5 and verse 23.
Okay, verse 32. And whosoever speaketh a word against the Son of Man, it shall be forgiven him. But whosoever speaketh against the Holy Ghost, it shall not be forgiven him, neither in this world, neither in the world to come. Woo! Let's get it. Galatians 5 and 23. Spell it wrong. I'm tripping. Forgot the T. This is Galatians 5 and 23. That's what you said out, right? 23?
Yeah, Khan, you might want to start at 22.
Con. Galatians chapter 5 and verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness.
So Salakia. So this is that fruit, right? This is that fruit, man. Remember that, right? Fruit of the Spirit, right? Read on.
God. Meekness, temperance, against such there is no law. And they that are Christ have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we
That's it.
If we live in the
So
Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit.
that's right, and that's how you get the fruits of the spirits, man, through loving, kindness, right, peace, right, meekness, gentleness, right. That's the fruit of the spirits. Get Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 25.
This is Proverbs chapter 18. It's at 24. 24 is the last verse.
Salakia 20.
This is Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 20. A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth. And
Salakia. So the fruit is also, right, this same fruit, that loving, kindness, gentleness, and all that, it comes from what you say out of your mouth. So you gotta, make sure you bearing the right fruit, through your lips, right? Read on.
And with the increase of his lips shall he be filled.
So by what you say out of your mouth, man, you will be filled, right? Hey, brother, I love you, man. I see you going through something. Hit this precept, man, to kind of help you through what you're going, and make sure you read Psalms chapter 23, right? Go ahead.
Verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
Speak on that.
Yeah, you can, the power of the tongue, like basically it's all about the phonetic tone that you issue out. It could be a negative tone, it could be a positive tone. You could be like, hey man, hey yo, you acting kind of like a wuss right now. That's okay, yeah, you right, man. Or man, hey, you acting like a wuss, bro. Hey man, hold on. You know what I'm saying? What you mean? Hey, you being a wuss, man. Hey, you trying to fight? And also it could be life and death in words like, look, man, I love you, bro. I wish the best for you, and things like that. That'll bring life to a brother or somebody care, you know what I'm saying? Or death, like, you know what, man, I hope you die. I don't care about you or none of that. That'll make somebody go into a depression, like, man, nobody cares about me, man. You know what? I'm just gonna jump off this bridge, man.
Well spoken, my brother. Well spoken.
Con, right? Verse 22. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor of Yahweh. The poor useth entreaties,
That's
but
it.
the
That's it on Proverbs.
Con, let's go back. Matthew 12.
I
Let's get it.
know. Hey, I know it's powerful, but that's enough on the wisdom, man.
Con. All right, so now verse Matthew chapter 12 and verse 33 now, right? Either make the tree good and his fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt and his fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by his fruit.
So that's a person, right? That's a person. A tree is known by what he say out of his mouth, right?
Uh-huh.
So we gotta watch the fruit that we bear in terms of watching what we say, right? And how we say it, like the brother was just going into. Keep going. I got another precept at 35.
Con. Verse 34. O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh.
Sirach 2 and 1.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2 and verse 1, also known as Sirach. My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Keep going, huh?
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
Keep going.
Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
That's it. So by watching what you say and being fruitful in your doings day by day, and then what you say day by day, you're gonna be increased in the last end because hey, the Most High see you bearing fruit and He see what you're doing, and He also see that you examine yourself and you examine your brothers every day, right?
Right,
You
that's
never
right.
lack in examining yourself and your brothers, so the fruits will be multiplied and multiplied and multiplied, right? Jeremiah 17 and 9.
Con. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 9. The heart deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
So that's why we got to keep a muzzle on our mouth, man. We got to watch what we say because the heart is desperately wicked. We have tons of thoughts that go on in our brain, but we have to mask what we think, and filter what we think and say it in a better way because our heart is wicked as hell. All right, I'm
Con.
gonna get so after you read 35, I got one more precept and I'm gonna let you do your thing because I know we're running short on time.
Yeah, Con, real quick. Verse 10. I, Yahweh, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings.
I wanted that.
Yeah. Con. All right, let's jump back. Right? Matthew 12 and verse 40. Salakia. Verse 35. Yeah, verse 35. A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. Right?
Sirach 30 and 21.
It's the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30 and verse 21. Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel.
Why? Why shouldn't we give not our mind to heaviness or afflict thy mind with our own counsel? Because the mind is deceitfully wicked above all things, right? The heart, right, is deceitfully wicked, which is the mind. We don't want to be in our own thoughts when our thoughts get heavy, man. Nothing never comes good out of that. we always have to call somebody that believes what we believe and get some type of counsel, man. I believe it's more on that. If not, go back. And I'm done on precept. Well, I got more,
Yeah,
but
I'll hit this next verse. The gladness
that
of the
kind of,
heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days, right? Because the gladness of your mind, you got to be glad in your mind all the time, not defeat yourself with negative thoughts. That's going to lead you to depression. That's going to lead you to eventually harming yourself, right? You're not supposed to do that. You have to have gladness in your mind so that way you're able. This is why people walk around happy. You look at that lady like, man, why is she always happy? 86 years old and she's just always happy, man. She knows she's struggling. You know she's going through what you're going through, the curses and all of that. But she has gladness in her mind that she's always happy, smiling all the time. 86 years old. You know what I'm saying?
happiness will cure diseases. You know what I mean? When you have stuff heavy on your mind and it's weighing you down, that creates diseases. It doesn't get rid of them. It makes you have diseases, man. So we have to watch that thing. When we heavy in our thoughts, man, either praise Yahweh and talk to Yahweh or read some scriptures or call a brother, man. Don't hesitate to call the Aki.
That's right. That's right. Con, let's continue. Let's go back. Con, this is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment.
Read
Right?
that
Let me
again,
get Con, I got a precept on that.
God.
Sloppy, I went too far. Right? This is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Oh, I thought it would work like that. I gotta spell that whole word out right here. 12, bam, bam, bam. Let's go. Yep. In verse 14. And it reads, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 14. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Right? So you're going to be judged on every single thing, man. Secret things, your good works and your evil works, man. You know?
And your evil thoughts and your good thoughts.
Con, that's right. Let's go back. Matthew chapter 12 and verse 37. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Woo! Hey, man, that's the power of the words, man. What you going to be speaking in these last days? Good, righteous
Hey,
thoughts
man,
out your mouth or wickedness, man?
that's it, bro. That's why I got them precepts on that fruit like that. 'Cause that's what it's
Con,
about, bro. It's the fruit of the lips that condemn you, man, and the fruit of your thoughts, man. You feel what I'm saying? That's why constantly we need to be rebuking our thoughts, man, and purifying our thoughts to be righteous.
that's
Because
right, that's right.
every word, bro, secret or that you actually said is gonna be brought into judgment.
Con, not con. Verse 38. Then certain of the scribes and of the Pharisees answered, saying, Master, we would see a sign from thee. But he answered and said unto them, An evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall be no sign be given to it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. Right?
Hebrews Hebrews 11 and 11, huh?
It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 11. And it reads, Through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. Therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is by the seashore innumerable. These all died in
Go ahead, keep going. Go ahead.
verse 13. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. Verse 15. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. But now they desire a better country, that is, an heavenly. Wherefore God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he hath prepared for them a city. Keep going.
So yeah, So like you're saying, man, you know, she had faith, man. She didn't see anything. You know, she had faith, man, that she, you know, that she was gonna have this son. You know, and that's what it's about, man. It's about faith, man. Things that are not seen, right? Faith is the substance of things not seen and the evidence of things hoped for. You feel what I'm saying? So this is a clear message of faith, man.
Con, let's go. Let's keep going. Verse 17. By faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, and he that had received the promises offered up his only begotten son, of whom it was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called, accounting that God was able to raise him up even from the dead, from whence also he received him in a figure. By faith, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come.
That's what I wanted. You see what I'm saying? That's the, you know,
Yeah.
that's the faith that we have to have, man. You know, Abraham thought it was finished, man. And even if so, you know, he know that Yahweh got the power to raise up Isaac from the dead, even if he would have killed him. Like
Right,
that's
that's right.
amazing. That's amazing faith, man. So don't worry
That's
about it.
right.
Don't worry about it. The Most High gonna give us, Yahweh gonna give us the offering once we get up there. The sacrifice once we get up there. Don't worry about it. All right.
Con. Oh yeah, so let's go back. Sit on that.
I said on that.
Okay, con, let's go back. Back to Matthew chapter 12 and verse 37. Oh, Slaki. Verse 38.
38. Yeah.
Right? Then certain of the scribes and Pharisees answered, saying, Master, we would see a sign from thee. So they didn't even have faith, man. They're like, man, show us, man. I don't believe it. You got to show me. I got to see it to believe it. You know what I mean? You can't be a see it to believe it person, man. You know what I mean? That you ain't never going to see it. So you ain't never going to believe it. So in the end, you're going to be destroyed, man. You know what I'm saying?
Salakia. What I wanted on Matthew 12 and 38 was Hebrews 11 and 1. But that was good, though, what you brought out anyway. But if you want to mark that, or YASHARAHLA want to mark that as a precept,
Yeah,
Hebrews
I
11
got it right
and
here.
1.
I got it. Hebrews 11 and 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
So that's exactly what Abraham was working on, pure faith. That even if he killed Isaac, you know, the Most High could raise him up from the dead.
Right, Khan. And Abraham ain't seen it, but he believed that that was possible by the power of Yahweh, man.
That's
You
right. I
understand?
talk about it. That's right.
Let's go back. Matthew 12 and 38, 39. But he answered and said unto them, an evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall be no sign be given to it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas, right? Which he elaborates on here in 40. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth.
And
Right?
yeah, that happened. That happened. All praises to the Most High.
Con. Verse 41. The men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation and shall condemn it, because they repented at the preaching of Jonas. And behold, a greater than Jonas is here. Woo! It's like, hey man, if they repented just because Jonas was telling them, hey man, I'm greater than Jonas. What y'all gonna do? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
hot fire. That's hot
Right.
fire.
42.
God.
The queen of the south shall rise up in the judgment with this generation and shall condemn it. For she came from the uttermost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon. And behold, a greater than Solomon is here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey man, if what's her name? Queen
Queen Sheba.
Queen Bathsheba, yeah, Bathsheba, right? Hey man, if she came to Solomon, I'm greater than Solomon. What y'all gonna do?
God, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy to see uh Yahushua big up in himself. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he big up in himself, man. But it's cold blooded because it's like not really because he was Solomon. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Yakanan YASHARAHLA, Shabbat Shalom. Peace and blessing to the children. Peace and blessing to everybody in the chat right now. Shalawam, Shalawam.
Happy new moon.
All right, let's get it. When the verse 43, Matthew 12 and 43, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Woo! Talk about it, Doc.
So he come back to his crib and everything gone, man. You feel what I'm saying? And this is why this is why we can't set our affections on the things below, but on the things above. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? Because easily, like I say, where I set my things on the things above, where moth nor rust destroy it, right? Roughly paraphrasing. But this is why, man, he leaves, right? And the sheep is scattered, right? This also, man, it's also going into that, right? Because we're supposed to be in the barn. He's the barn, the storehouse, right? And the sheep go in there, and the door is shut. He's the door, right? But right now, the sheep are scattered, man. He went back into his house, and we everywhere, but in the right place, So it got a lot of stuff going on this, man. But yeah, man, like you said, bro, he came back home, and nothing was there. He went back up to heaven, and we just went right, we went right back into being wicked, and we were spoiled once again. Nowhere to be found, lost sheep. Right?
That's right. That's right, man. That's right. Matthew 12 and 45 now. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. Hey man, that's that wickedness increasing, man. You don't do nothing to purge out them sins. You just gonna keep adding different types of spirits into you, man. Right?
That sin upon sin, man. Sirach 5 and 5, man. You feel what I'm saying?
Khan, I got you.
Yeah, you don't have to get it, but if you want to, that's it. Hey.
Yeah, Khan, I got it. So right, chapter 5, verse 5. Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin, right? Hey man, you don't want to keep adding sin onto sin, man. You're gonna be utterly destroyed. You don't want to have an indignation, which is a righteous hatred from Yahweh towards you, man. You don't want that.
They got more on that if you
Yeah.
don't want.
Hey, the spirit, man. That's exactly what verse 6 talks about. And say not his mercy is great, he will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation resteth upon sinners. You know what I'm
Read
saying?
7.
Hey, man, make no tarrying to turn to Yahweh, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of Yahweh come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
And that's why you have to fear not to add sin upon sin, man. You gotta fear that. Hey, look, I need to talk to Yahweh about this sin that I just committed. Ask for forgiveness and do it no more, man. That's why we gotta pull Acts 3 and 19 all the time, man. You gotta repent, ye therefore, and be converted. That that the sin that thou committed shall be blotted out. Right, roughly paraphrasing. You know.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, Khan, you could keep going in Matthew. Salakia.
Let's get it. Con, Matthew chapter 12 and verse 46. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brother stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. You know what I'm saying?
Precept.
He's like, what is it?
Sirach 9 and 10.
Here it comes. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 10. Forsake not an old friend, for the new is not comparable to him. A new friend is as new wine. When it is old, thou shalt drink it with pleasure.
So this is what Yahweh Shah is talking about. These are all my new friends, and they do the will of my Father. So the same thing as us when we gather together and we have new prospects and we bring brothers into the faith. That's a new friend. And then
That's right.
over the years that pass by, and we keeping the laws together, going through the laws together. We end up building a beautiful friendship, which ends up being our mother, our father. Like I was telling Captain Khalil, I call the brothers and check up on the brothers, like they're my mama, man. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, brother, how y'all doing today? Everything all right? You feel what I'm saying? Everything good? Good. All right, well, I was just checking in on you. You feel what I'm saying? And that, because now my brethren is my brother, my mother, my father, my sister, my kids, my wife. You feel what I'm saying? These brothers are my life, man. Get Sirach
Right.
chapter 6 and verse 7. And if you got something to add on to that, go ahead.
Right, man. Because if you're dealing with your same, if you're trying to prefer those that don't do the will of the Most High over people of the world, hey, man, that's James 4 and 4. You're at enmity with God because you're choosing the ways of the world. They're involved in the world. That's the worldly things. If they're not doing the will of the Father, so you're holding on to that more than Yahweh Shai and his walk, man. That's not, you're not considered his family at that point, man. You just a person in the world at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about it. Talk about it.
It's Sirach 6 and what up?
6 and 7.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
So you got to prove them through the law, man. Hey, can you keep this? Can you keep that? Who's your forefather, right? Who's your granddad? Is he a so-called black man, so-called Jamaican, West Indian, Caribbean, right? Indigenous, Canadian? Like, you got to prove your friend, man. Oh, all right, well, can you stop cutting your beard? Yeah, I can stop. All right, you gaining a friend.
That's right.
Right?
That's
You
right.
gaining a friend, man. This is a new friend, right? Somebody that you're going to end up preferring more than your mother, brother, sister. You feel what I'm saying?
Khan. That's right. That's
Keep
right.
on going, and I think that's it.
Khan. Verse 8.
Yeah.
Verse 8. For some man is a friend of his own occasion and will not abide in the day of thy trouble. Hey, man, he's only going to be your friend for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you get arrested. Hey, I don't know that, brother. You get hit. You get into some type of trouble. Hey, man, I don't know that, man. Hey, he ain't really your friend at that point, man. You know what I'm saying? He's an imposter. You know what I'm saying?
I got something to add on to that too. You know how, so say we K.O.Y and a brother just really want the title. He want the shirt. You feel what I'm saying? He your friend for an occasion. You feel what I'm saying? He just want to know that he with somebody. But 2 years down the line, he can't even stick in the truth. He just wanted to bear the name, right? Get the book of Philippians, right, chapter 2 and verse 2. Yeah, so we gotta watch that thing, man. That's why we gotta constantly be vetting one another, you know, and rebuking one another and proving one another, because we gotta make sure that we ain't just a friend for a season.
Khan, that's right. All right, I got it. This is Philippians chapter 2, verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind.
So that's how we become new friends, and then later on, we, you know, that new wine, and then later on we drink it together, because now we endured and we got the kingdom, you know. So now that new wine has become old and is now ready to drink. You feel what I'm saying? Because we come as one mind and we rehearse the righteous acts, you know, and yeah, so that's how we become good friends and best friends. Like me and Captain Khalil, man. You feel what I'm saying? I love that brother through the laws. You feel what I'm saying? Like through the laws, we built up a brotherhood, a bond that can't be broken.
That's right. That's right. Let's bring it out, right? Khan. That's it. That's the last verse right there. We can wrap it up from there.
Nah, we gotta go to Matthew 14.
Yeah, Khan. I'm gonna be here till 4 o'clock doing that.
God, we'll wrap it up, man, and then we'll start a little earlier next Shabbat service.
Yeah, Khan. We're gonna have to end it right here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, all praise to the Most High. I hope y'all got that good meat, that good milk for this lesson. I appreciate y'all tapping in. To y'all viewers that tapped in, you know, peace and blessing to you and yours. Keep enduring it to the end, man. Same shall be saved. YASHARAHLA, you know?
YASHARAHLA.
That's right, man. So, yeah, we're going to be at camp right now, so stay tuned. Tap in, like, share, subscribe to more videos and all that good works, you know what I mean? All praise to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Hey, man. This is what we do, man. This is it. You know what I'm saying? This that thing speaking behind your ear telling you, man, that this is the way. You know what I mean? This is all we got left. You know what I'm saying? Hold on to that, man.
Hey, this is the last precept, bro. Get Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17.
Khan, I got you right now. Pull up the screen back up. Khan, I got you. I got you right here. 3 and verse 10.
17.
Oh, Salaki. This is Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, giving thanks to Yahweh and Abba by him.
So everything you do in word and deed, do all by Hashem Yahweh Shah, giving all glory and honor to the Father by him, right? So I want to say call Halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, you know, Baha Rakah Kodash, all praises to the Most High, from YASHARAHLA.
K.O.Y. Shalawam, Malcolm.